The button is hit.
It's happening.
I'm so rushed.
Wicked rush, dude.
I like had to absolutely annihilate dinner right before I set up, and I'm like, it's 10 till, and I'm like, Phil's gonna be messaging me saying, "Where are you?" And I'm gonna be like, "Shit, I'm eating my hibachi, and I'm running, rushing,
Dude.
and gotta
You
get
were
my
Russian
hoodie.
eating hibachi.
I gotta get my slippers on, gotta get my hoodie, gotta get my cigars, gotta get the Monster, all the stuff.
Yeah, the supplies.
But we are here. This is episode 20 of ArachNerds, which is brought to you by FullViewsApparel.com. Tis the season sale is still going on now for another 3 weeks. It's not going to end until the new year. Go check that out. Buy two, get one free site wide. Response so far has been gangbusters. So there's some orders that are going to be going out. It's been pretty steady flow of packages here in the house and getting things out the door. But go check that out. And then sort of the new unofficial, official sponsor partner, I guess, if that's what we want to call it, is the Tarantula Addicts Discord. You can see it right here, discord.gg/TA to join. Facebook is cool and all, but Facebook also kind of sucks, especially on the social group level. So,
especially if you want to learn something sometimes.
So, having been a member now of Tarantula Addicts for I don't know what, a month and a half, something like that.
Maybe two.
It's awesome. It's great. I love that whole group in comparison to Facebook groups, because as I think we mentioned last episode, you can actually ask questions and not be ripped apart, no matter how beginner-ish, noobish, stupid, whatever questions they could be. People are cool. It's a no bullshit zone, which is nice. So
you're gonna get qualified advice too.
Yes.
That's kind of one of the most important things, and definitely something that kind of leads into something that I talked to know about, and that I kind of wanted to bring to light as a it's something within Tarantula Addicts that just adds another level of usefulness, learning. I guess husbandry. I don't know. You should be letting natural history dictate your husbandry, and this tool kind of really facilitates that. So it's two things I want to talk about. First and foremost is the World Spider Catalog bot. It's a Spider Archive.
All right, we rehearsed. Let me figure.
What's up?
I said we rehearsed this. Let me figure out. I'm missing my mark.
Yeah. I'm gonna read the thing, and then you can do the demo. I'll walk you through that in a sec, there, old man. So the Spider Archive, or WSC bot, Spider Archive and its web view are a free resource that pulls API calls from various places like INAT, World Spider Catalog, weather data, different science literature calls, etc., and bundles them together, creating a comprehensive overview for each described species of spider that updates in real time. First, starting as a Discord bot, we meaning No, and the other developer, I believe it's Oxgingy. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly, and I apologize if I'm not. Creating a comprehensive overview for each described species of spider that updates in real time. First, so starting as a Discord bot, we wanted to make all that information we have gathered publicly accessible for the overall hobby space. So they're just trying to give back. And it's really handy. Their goal is to provide up-to-date and peer-reviewed media to learn about spiders, their history, and their lifestyle with accurate information that has been curated by a competent and passionate team of advisors. So this is kind of where earlier I was talking about QA and you get qualified advice. So No, and the whole TA squad, their advisors are legit. They really check facts, and they're not going to
You don't have to question whether the
Yeah,
information
yeah,
you're
it's
given is
yeah,
from
it's
legitimate people that are
like
like
source. Oh, here's
vetted.
the source.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not just like some dude saying shit on a Facebook group. Like that's for real. Um so really really kudos to No and ArachNerds for throwing this together. It's public. This bot is public and it can be added to any Discord server. Right now it's currently still in the beta, but it's planned for open source release. Currently its development is still active. And there is a WebView link that Justin is going to include in the bio or the comments or something.
Yeah, it should be
And
tagged below.
yep. And I believe Justin is going to be able to kind of, yep, here we go. So you click on that link. Well, so we can show you this, but I'd also like to. Is it possible to pull up Discord as well and show that and how it works in Discord in real time?
You're asking a lot there, buddy. Okay.
All right. One
We
step at a
got it.
time.
We got it. We got
One
it.
step at a time. Yeah. So just like type in your species here. Go for it.
Whichever one will I choose?
C. lividus. Oh, okay. You spelled it wrong.
Let's do Warren.
Ooh.
Let's go with the best one of them all.
Ooh. Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah, so you got your INAC gallery, your map, climate snapshot, CITES appendix. You've got your reference, DOI right there, distribution. So look at the temps. Like No and ArachNerds, literally, like
How are they going to
there's your
do metric system on rain, but then whatever the American system's called in temperatures?
Oh, you got to take that up with No, but they're goats. This is fire. Look at that, dude. Real INAT shots of Ornata in the wild. July 1st, 2025. Click on that. Click on that. Yeah. Look at that.
You can open the link in a new tab and it takes you directly to that.
Ooh, okay. All right, folks. There it is. That's pretty cool. So, as you guys can see, the World Spider catalog, it's pretty dang handy. Like, look at this.
Similar species.
Similar species. Look at that. Image. Oh, look at that, Justin. Justin, look at the greens on that. Ooh. Yup.
I'm sorry, the only one that gives Ornata a run for its money in the looks department is
Rufalata. Oh.
No. What?
Oh. Sorry.
Those baby shit green spiders.
Hey. Keep it down over there. Calm down there, Bambus boy.
I have not kept Rufalata yet, so I can't even really speak to that. I just know that I love Ornata.
I've got one for a friend in the other room, and she's huge, dude. She's bigger than my hand, for sure.
Oh, that's
she's
cool.
a woman.
Distribution map too with the.
Yeah, they like I said. These guys don't really mess around. This is straight facts. Like that's what it is. Cold hard facts right here, folks.
Is it true spiders too?
Ooh, that's a good question. Try. Oh.
Ooh.
It
sure is. True. So basically, if it's a spider.
Yeah, you got it. You got it.
Yeah.
Boom. Do you like a Bach Maha or like a Nandep or something? Oh, ooh, Everdie? Ooh.
Let's go with the original.
The original, the OG.
I didn't know that was an Omothymus at one point. Doesn't surprise me.
They're all the same. Or well, not they're all the same, but they were, kind of all.
It's musical chairs taxonomically.
Yeah. No, literally. Yeah, I'm great.
But does it have like the not formally described stuff? So like.
No, it's all described tarantulas. So it even said that in the description that I read. It's all described stuff. But look at the Arboricola. Yeah, one of my favorites right here, folks. Lampropelma. Ooh. So Russell Morris, if you're on Discord, you can use this bot on Discord through DMs, or this is a website, which the link is wherever Smitty put it.
Down in the description.
Yes, down in the description. My apologies. Look at that thing, Justin. Look at that thing.
Start a conversation. Okay, so if I'm in Discord,
Okay, so
who
then,
am I telling it? Who am I telling it to message?
ooh, what did I say? What did I say? Where would you like World Spider? It's World Spider catalog. Yep. And then do enter a species. Yep, exactly.
It's like Chat GPT, but for spiders.
Mm-hmm.
It's not doing anything.
So now, nope, no.
Oh,
So now
wait.
you gotta do, yep, /. Did you watch the video I sent you?
I don't remember.
Okay, nice. So you got to do / species, like the slash. Yeah.
Wait, this is the okay.
Come on. I'm watching the video so that I can direct you. Yep, / and then species. Just hit the / and then species should pop up.
I did.
Oh yeah, I can't see because the camera's in the. Oh yeah, there you go.
Maybe it's because the taxonomists are too awesome. Let's see.
So it's like just do the dash and then species, yeah, and then you just type the name in.
I hate this keyboard. I swear to God, I can actually type. Like I'm not an idiot.
No, Justin is good, guys. Don't worry.
We got to be missing something.
I can't see the box because of where the camera is, so it's just my face. I can't see where you're typing at all. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So do the /.
Yeah.
And then you have to type species. Yeah. No. Okay. So get rid of that, and then look, species right there. You see that? You got to click it. /species. Yeah, right there. Yep. Now you type the name.
Gotcha. That's not
There
what
you go.
said in the beginning at all.
I said /, and then you got to type species. Yep. There you go, Squidward. Now hit space, like enter. Boom. And then it's processing. It'll fetch all the data for you. Check this out. It's loading. It's thinking. Boom. Look at that.
And it's basically like a short form version of the page. I
And
guess.
you can, if you click on that now, if you click on that hyperlink where it says Chompach, yeah, right there, it'll bring you right to the, yep. And then you go, boom. Yeah, look at that.
Oh,
And
that's
then
cool. It's got the history.
all the references, like all the history. So you can even click on that reference PDF, and it should show included taxa right there. Yeah. So all that
Nice.
stuff. Look at that. Pages. Oh, there's the PDF right there. You can even click on that. On the DOI and stuff. Yep. And that should bring you. Oh yeah. Look at. Oh, that's so cool, man. Wow. Look at this, Justin. Here is Taskus. Oh wow.
Very neat.
Wow, look at this. And it references Omothymus and Lampropelma, Formingocylus. Wow, look at that. Look, what's the is that habitat, Justin, of a wild T. bambus? What's that look like?
It's I don't. Is it showing it yet? No, it's not. Here we go.
Oh yes, it is. Oh, it's in Bam. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
No,
actually in.
no, you guys did it again. No, you did it again, dude. Look at this, man. Y'all are killing it. That's the spider that lived in that hole, dude.
They are not big.
No, but that's super cool.
Hold on a second. Lost it.
So that is the World Spider catalog. So super helpful for looking up natural history. especially for highs and lows if you're conditioning
Yeah,
females or whatever
rainfall, all that
to
stuff.
breed. Rainfall with your moisture dependent species, so like Bambus.
What
If
happens
we ever find a
if we
male,
hit
if
that?
we ever find a boy, cries, it's fine.
It's
Um,
if you hit historical,
yeah.
it expands this.
hmm So
Wow,
those are
it shows you like the
that's the
aggregate throughout the
range.
year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Bad Juju really put out, man.
Yeah,
He's the goat. Shout out No and TA.
that's awesome.
You can even favorite it. He was telling me, he told me a couple other hotkeys to pull up history and stuff. I don't know. I'm not super good with this, like
It's awesome.
Discord. Yeah, but it's very very helpful. Especially even if you just want the website, like even just having the World Spider or the Spider Archive website up is wicked helpful if like you were at work or whatever and just wanted to double check something. Super super easy if you're on your computer.
It doesn't get any
Um,
easier.
no, and it's all updated in real time. That's the I think that's the most important thing. So if there's any sort of taxonomic revision, which it's like it's impending, the that will be reflected on the Spider Archive
Hmm.
World Spider Catalog. Um, so I also want to segue into uh, Moltly. Is there any way you could pull that up? Yeah. So Moltly's a free notes and molting tracker app with a wealth of features. QR codes to track and share specimens, analytics, breeding tracker, health tracker, and notes that sync with Discord. It's privately focused, so it's open source. Anyone can contribute, edit, and suggest features. It's self-host capable, meaning that anyone can host it for themselves or their friends and fork or edit their own version independently from the Moltly code base. So this was developed by, I believe it's Oxgingy. I'm not sure if I'm saying that correctly, and I apologize if I'm not. But there is a link to the Moltly code base, and then I believe there's a link to Moltly in
There's a
the description.
yes, there's a link to
Yep.
this that we're looking at down below.
So this is something that I could consider because I have a bunch of index cards, and this is pretty cool. Feeding, water change, and then you can just custom date what you outcome. Oh, nice quantity and size. It's also open source, so if you're tech savvy, and you really kind of know what you're doing, there's this is a really nice tool and medium to do what you'd like, and it's very malleable to to my understanding, which again is very surface level in terms of um, like what's going on actually behind this. I'm like a paper and index card kind of guy, but this is definitely something that I've been discussing with No, and he's been just like sharing kind of updates with me. So I think it's something that I could definitely see myself transitioning to, at least to start, just to play around with,
Yeah,
maybe with a couple slings or something. Like I have a group of locality OBTs. Like maybe I'll throw those guys in here. You know what I mean? Just like 9 spiders or something.
but
Like,
you can like carry over that data. So like if you have some, Kigoma or something, and you want to send those to Dritz, you
dude, you
can send
can
that information
generate
to Dritz,
a
and he can
QR code on a
nice.
QR code. Yeah. So
And then he
that's
can
the
pull it up and
thing.
it integrates into his account if he has
Correct.
one. Gotcha.
Correct. Yeah. So it's that's pretty cool. Um, Definitely thinking outside the box.
See, and that's always been like I've tried apps in the past with like herps and stuff, and it's always been like I want to use them and I want to, get with the times, and I just always end up defaulting back to index card and paper or pen, just because to go through search for the animal, especially if you have a larger collection, at least like I found that to pull out your phone, open the app, search up the animal, put in the information, do all that stuff. In the time that it takes me to do that, I can have it jotted down on an index card and, 2 seconds. So
Mhm.
I don't know. I've yet to find an app per se that isn't just sort of on the clunkier side, that has the convenience of the simple index card and pen type deal. But I like this one because it's not overly complicated, and like there's not
It seems
a
pretty
bunch of
user-friendly.
unnecessary, unnecessary data
Yeah.
points.
Yeah, and it's like you can kind of it looks like you can kind of type whatever's clever in there. You can add as much or as little as you want. Um, oh, you can even add photos. I like that. I
Yeah.
like the fact that you can add photos. So if you were to include the photos and that was attached to the QR code, I
Mhm.
think that would be very useful for a variety of applications,
It'd be really
especially
cool if
for
they can have it sort of auto generate like line graphs or something for whatever, be it environmental or size or molt cycles, and then you can
just
see
like
throughout
to
the
check
year.
trends.
Yeah, just to see
Yeah.
throughout the year. Okay, I noticed like my flamingo kylos tend to eat more, as we get into spring, and slow down as we get into fall, kind of thing. Like just
Yeah.
over time to see a bigger picture of what the animals are doing as far as um, food intake, size, all that stuff.
Just being, like, able to pull those numbers
Just
and put
super
it on a
cool, and just
graph.
pull it up and be like, yeah, okay,
Yeah.
so with Brachypelma that I have in my collection, I noticed a trend with all of mine that I have in Moltley. Um, Earlier in the year, they're slowing down on food, or they're ramping up food, and they're molting. Molts can be more expected on whatever timeline, just that kind of stuff, just to be able to look at it, wide angle kind of deal.
Yeah, I think that that's something you totally could mention to know because I bet that, I mean, if the data's there, you know what I mean? It would
Hmm.
just have to be shown a different way. I don't know how that would work. That's over my it's above my pay grade, but I think that
Compared to
that's
what they have here, I feel like that's
but
nothing.
maybe it can do that? I have no idea. Create an entry, dude, see what happens. Like, I don't know.
I don't have a signed up account, but
Uh,
species is required. Okay, so I'm gonna go with
yeah, gotta be a Bambus, dude.
whatever's not long and easy to type. So, oh,
Oh, look at that. Oh, okay. Oh, nice. Now, if you were to type in, oh, wow, look at that, dude. Pulls right up the INAT, the distribution. You can open your World Spider Catalog, INAT. You can save it to your notebook. Save it to your notebook right there. Click that. Oh, unauthorized. You need an account.
I probably need. Yeah, I need to sign up.
That's pretty cool, Justin. There's a lot of information here. Wow. Activity.
Analytics. Oh, so I mean,
Oh,
if
you
they've got an
can.
analytics
Oh
tab, then
man, maybe you can
maybe that
open it.
means they've already got
Oh, if you had, yeah.
interval predictions. Wow,
Ooh, Justin, you got to
that's
do some
cool.
stuff with Bambus. Okay, man.
I know.
All right. I know. Knows constantly. He's just his bag of tricks is just like it's constantly getting deeper, dude. His toolbox is infinite. Like I don't know how he's able to. Or this is Oxgingy. Oxgingy is
Hmm.
awesome, man. Shout out to Oxgingy for killing it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's incredible. That's like
I
really really
Like I
cool.
said, when I get these kinds of things, like the one thing that I'm mostly interested in getting out of it the most
Is
is
the
like
analytics?
that long term data
Yeah,
and trends that I'm not going to see in the day to day of keeping stuff. Like I want to be
dude,
able to
you
look at
should
it in 6 months and say, okay, I'm definitely seeing something's happening in May over January, or
you
that
should
kind
do
of
this with your Calcodes, man. That would be really
thing. God,
cool
that
if
freaking
you
that thing does not
the
grow, dude.
grain of rice, dude, the tick. If you did this with your Calcodes, that would be a really cool thing. Like over 10 years or whatever.
I'm afraid to
That'd be
keep feeding it because I'm afraid it's gonna pop, dude. Like I've literally
yeah.
stopped because it looks like it's about to explode.
Yeah, it'll molt, but before you retire, maybe.
It's ridiculous.
I know it's crazy, but this moldy thing is pretty sweet.
It's very sweet.
Definitely worth looking into. Definitely worth tracking. Like I said, maybe a couple spiders.
It's Moltly.xyz.
Yeah, it's pretty dang cool. I like it a lot.
Oh, and there's a light and dark mode.
Yeah, man. Gingy, dude. What a guy. Yeah.
You can export and import data. That's cool. See, I like it. It's not crazy flashy.
It's not clunky at all. No, it's very low key. Like
reminders are nice.
Oh, I like that. Breeding. Click on that. What's good? Oh.
Female, male, species pairing date.
Pairing report, not laid, sac date, hatch date, additional notes. Justin, that's pretty sweet, man.
Yeah, I mean, especially if you're like Dritz, who's got fucking 50 pairings at any given time.
Yeah, literally 900 pairings at 900 times.
Maniac.
The reminders is pretty cool, and then just like the notebook, you know, what's that? Create your first stack, dude. New stack, yeah. Oh, nice.
Dabbed. Watered.
Warren's coming. We just had to we just wanted to talk about tarantula addicts. Just because I'd been talking with Noah about this thing, Moltly, and then the Spider Archive, the WSC bot, is something that I find increasingly useful as I get into these Asian species more, just to really learn about them. So I wanted to mention it when we did a podcast so that more people would listen to it. Yeah, TA does rock.
Join it. There's an Underdark channel.
It is a channel. Yep. I almost said thread. All the cool kids hang out in the Underdark channel. Trying to think. What Warren is on the way right now. He's coming.
We're gonna pop him in here.
We're gonna get him in here shortly. What do you got going on over there, Justin, in terms of your spiders?
Got some. Did I get the Vietnam silvers last episode?
Yeah, I don't know, but those are cool.
Or not, but everything's doing good. My Gabonensis seem to be molting in unison.
Nice.
Had one of the small Bambus molted and finally kicked the molt out, so I looked at that under the microscope just probably an hour ago.
Cries. Our heart was broken.
I'm not upset about it. I mean, it's like it's another female. So currently, as it stands, like every Bambus I have is a female, and that's dude, we're at 5 or 6 of them now. So
Warren is here.
I'm just convinced that they're parthenogenic and males don't exist. That's all it is.
Yeah, I've never even seen her. Well, I've never seen one.
It's just so bizarre that they get imported still on a pretty regular basis, and it's like I still don't see males even in the imported stuff. Like,
never seen.
I don't know, and maybe it is a case of males don't look malish like we get with other species. Like maybe they do happen to be a little more difficult to sort of differentiate visually. I don't know, but it's a time to sell one to me. Oh, I'm hoarding them all for myself, dude.
Yeah, I'm not sure. That's above my pay grade, to understand the Bambus.
Yeah,
I really admire the Bambus. All I know is that male Bambuses,
Bambies,
male Bambies. I don't know if they exist.
I don't know. I mean, Dritz, he got an egg sac from.
Yeah, but dude,
was that like the female had already paired before he got her, or was it there wasn't like
I'm assuming
I don't
he
know,
paired
Dritz is
her, but I
listening.
also don't. Yeah,
What do males look like, Dritz?
what do male Bambuses look like, Dritz? Tell us in the comments. They do exist. I had one. They're actually really rare because they're really high. Yeah, it's a high percentage of females. He had one.
Well, right now my game plan is if I just continue to buy Bambus, that eventually
You got to hit one eventually,
odds
dude.
are,
Yeah,
you know,
you got
and then
it.
if I end up with 200 Bambus as a result over however many years, it is what it is.
It could be worse, right? There's like definitely worse problems to have.
Said they're a lot like a cobalt blue. If you had to compare them to something real frail and small and dark colored. So nothing like a normal Bambus. Okay.
Weird looking Bambus.
Well, we had that one a couple weeks ago, like that we looked at under the microscope and we were like, is that a male? Is it a female? We can't really tell.
Andy was just like, no. Andy was just like, no.
And then we had this one, which when I saw it on the microscope, I was like, that's obviously a female. Like that to me is clear.
Like, it's a
but
dude.
then I was like,
it looks masculine. Like, look at it. Look how far apart those are.
But then
I
you
was
look
like
at that
feeling
previous
so
one,
good,
and it's like, what?
Yeah, that's what I was saying, dude. That's what I was saying, and I was like, oh, Justin, maybe that's a dude. Like, that's really cool. And then it just wasn't. Like, we asked Andy, like Andrew Browning, another tarantula addict, Arachnoboard's goat. He just like knows stuff about spiders. He was like, it's a girl. You're wrong. I was like, okay, I'll leave.
No, it's just compared to that first one, dude. Because we're talking about.
Dude, I really thought it was something, man. I was confident.
I'm just so confused because it, again. What is going on?
So here's the thing, and like, I don't want to lie. What I'll say is like, when you were like, Phil, the rules keep changing. Part of me was like, Justin, I don't know if the rules keep changing. And
the rules don't change. They suck. Is basically
today the rules change.
The rules keep changing.
Yeah. Fuck. Like, I really thought that was a dude, but it just isn't. And he explained it, and it's like, I just don't know what I'm doing, and that's cool. This is why we joined TA, and this is why we learn.
Yeah.
So that's what I got about that. That's what I got.
Yeah, I just, like I said, when I saw the one that I looked at tonight, I was like, okay, that's a female, because like compared to the Formigocylus and other stuff that's taxonomically similar, like that it looks like a female. But then the one before, that's what made me wonder, was like, okay, well, if this is a female,
could you share the picture? Do you have the ability to share the picture on here, or am I asking a lot? I'm asking a lot.
It's gonna take a second.
Okay. Should we pop Warren in? Should we wait? Like, how do we do that?
If he's ready.
Warren,
if you can hear me, give the thumbs up. I saw him he looked at me.
Oh, you can see him? I can't even see him, dude. I can't even see him, dude.
He's right here.
Oh, there he is, dude. What's up, Warren?
How's it, guys? Hey, Phil.
So, hey, man, what's good?
Good. Long time no see.
I know, I know, right?
It is.
Oh. So we
Thanks
were just
for waiting for me. Well, I thought I thought you were gonna have to wait for me. But
no worries. Dude.
No, it worked out. We had to.
Yeah,
we got that stuff out of the way, and I didn't want us to be rushed to get through some of that. And it
works out. Totally. We wanted to talk about the bot and stuff like that, because that's pretty useful.
The part of Skynet that's going live.
We were just kind of
a bunch of technical stuff there,
dude. It's all over my head. But
I bet.
But it's very helpful for the numbers, man. The weather.
The weather. Yes, yeah, no, for sure.
Okay, here it is.
So this is the one from tonight.
Yep.
Right there. Right there.
And if they're so far apart, I was like, that's got to be a dude, but it's not.
See, I was like, no, that's a female, like right off the rip. And then this is the other one we're talking about, where it's like one's over here and one's over there.
But that's so much younger than the other one. Like, do you know what I mean by that?
They weren't. They're
Like-
not far off. They're really
I
not.
thought they were like 1 or 2 apart in terms of molt.
This one is now like this one currently is probably bigger than the one that from tonight.
Oh, okay. I'm just,
But just the distance between the two, man, is just like, what the fuck is going on? You know?
Yeah. Yeah, I see. I'm looking at the photos now on my phone. Oh, but
Because then I'm just questioning, like, am I even looking at the right thing? Like, is that why the rules keep changing? Because I'm just an idiot and just you know, I don't know. Both are entirely possible. I'm not.
Yeah.
ruling
Oh,
out
yeah.
me being a jackass as a possibility because it is entirely possible and likely is.
Totally.
But you know, that's we'll see. So this spider, I believe, molted again. I'm trying to remember if it was this one or one of the other original 3. But I have another one that molted that is the middle child size wise, if that makes sense, between the adults I have and the smallest ones. This is the sort of the middle one.
Okay.
So I'm waiting on that one to kick the molt out. I didn't want to tear everything apart to pull it out. So
Yeah, totally not
it
worth
should
it.
be happening soon. So because that one, the one from this molt just kicked its molt out today, and I'm expecting the other one to do it probably tomorrow because they molted at pretty much the same time. So,
Dude, I hope, fingers crossed, dude.
we'll see, but
That would be really, really cool. I hope it looks weird.
yeah, I don't know. I'm hoping if we can make a male happen, that'd be awesome. So get it into the right.
Is that the right angle there? What orientation you have your camera? Is it
Dude, that looks good. I like all your enclosures. It's a nice like setup back there.
Thanks. Yeah, that's the more uniform side.
I know. I got a bunch of Tupperware in my
Yeah.
room. You know how it is.
No, I do. They're all up here. There's still a menagerie of different size enclosures.
Yeah.
Food storage.
This
Yeah.
episode, now that we're sort of through all the housekeeping stuff, we're joined by Warren Klein of Bushveld Reptiles. Again, I think we were talking about it in the text thread, and I'm going to try and refrain from bringing up house snakes. It's going to be tough.
Why reframe? That's one of my favorite subjects as well.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm planning to talk about some baboon spiders and
Yes.
seeing them and all that good
That's
stuff.
good. Well, I used to find them alongside each other back home in South Africa.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess getting into sort of the jump right in, but I'm curious, how long have you been in the States? What brought you over here? And can you give us the sort of the rundown as far as the backstory goes?
Sure. Where
are you from?
Yes, I'm from South Africa originally. Been here is it now 8 years, coming on 8 years. And the reason I have to blame that one on my wife, she kidnapped me back to the frozen north. Step outside, it's I still can't believe it. It's not what I was ever used to, what I expected. Yes, yeah, we met actually back in South Africa when I was working as the curator of a reptile park in South Africa. It was in the Limpopo province in the Bushveld region, and we used to deal with a lot of problem snake call-outs for black mambas primarily, spitting cobras, puff adders, those sort of things. So we're in a big 5 country, and variety of different farms like mango farms, and there's all sorts of chances for encounters with wild venomous snakes. And our reptile park used to have a problem snake removal policy. So we get called by all the surrounding farmers and game lodges to come and help them when they got a problem snake. And we used to have a display, a terrarium that people used to come visit. We used to see school groups and do daily venomous snake demonstrations. And we also had an international volunteer program, and that's actually how I met my wife. She came as a student when she was doing her veterinary degree. to get some hands-on experience working with African animals. So she went to a typical mammal rehabilitation center and also to the reptile park. So yeah, that's how we met. That was back in 2005.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What species of spitter was it that you were removing?
The Mozambique spitting
Mozambique?
cobra, Niger mozambicus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gnarly creature.
Yeah, it's a goodie.
Yes. Oh yes, definitely. They're very abundant there. They do very well, very successful snake. And of course, being a spitting cobra, they one of the few snakes that actually can defend themselves with venom from a distance even. So and they're very good at that. They don't even have to stand up and make a hood. They can just snarl at you out of a crack or something like that, and with great accuracy get you into your eye. And just a little drip of that venom hits you in the pupil, and you'll know all about it. It burns like fire. Yeah.
Yeah. Damn.
Whoa.
Well, the other Phil that we do Snakes and Stogies with on this channel, he's a huge, like, South African nerd as far as like the fauna and stuff and herps, and he's big on ring calls. He
likes ring calls.
Very big on ring calls. He's got a couple of them. And,
Okay.
He's
not bad pronunciation there, hey? I've heard some funny pronunciation of that word by Americans.
Yeah.
Ring
It's a funny word. Yeah.
Yeah, ring calls. It actually means a ring neck, and certain localities show it off better. In the Highveld where I actually grew up, there's they're normally black with a single white band, so they're even called like a reverend, because they stand up and you see that white, one or two white bands on the neck on a black snake. But of course, there's certain localities in Natal where they can be brightly banded. We also used to breed we used to have those back in South Africa. A variety of different localities, in fact, and everyone loved the orange banded ones.
Yeah, those are the screamers. Those
are beautiful.
Natal, insane.
Yeah, when they spread a hood, it's like you can see that like pumpkin orange glowing through the back. It's pretty impressive.
It's pretty cool.
Of course, quite unique among cobras, and even when compared to other spitters, they're not really a true cobra. They don't, like a Mozambique spitter, will actually squeeze its venom glands or contract them and squirt the venom at you. The rinkhals almost uses its whole motion of flinging it, so it's not as accurate. The spray sort of like you're taking a hose pipe and whipping it at you instead of like a straight beam at your eyes. It still gets you, but not nearly as accurate as a Mozambique spitter.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I know he's got a pair right now, and he's been planning to breed his or trying to breed his, and he's been having issues as far as like, I guess reception, like as far as breeding those goes. I'm gonna do this because I know Phil's gonna want to know. Did you guys do anything in particular as far as cooling or anything like that? And then was there a particular time of year that you were pairing them up?
Yes, well, they do experience a cold winter in much of their range, especially where those orange banded ones come from. So it can get down into the 0 degrees Celsius.
Oh wow, really?
Where they do come from. I mean, they're obviously going to go down somewhere, down a hole or a burrow where they're not going to be experienced that, but it can get to those temperatures in some places in South Africa, even like there's freezing temperature. But when the sun comes out in the day, it gets warm again, and they're able to come out and bask. And having that black coloration very often, even between the bands, that's how they can absorb some of that heat a lot faster. So it's you need to take them down to pretty cool temperatures. I wouldn't go to those extremes. You can go down into the teens or even 20 Celsius around there, just to stimulate them, and then provide them heat during the day. I would have all the heat off at night, and then a basking opportunity during the day, and then they're usually spring breeders, so that's what we would do.
Yeah, I'll let him know that we discussed it briefly, because he's all about those things, and I mean I can't blame him. They're really cool, and they're not something you see
Yes,
Very
they
often
and
these days, so.
very unique. They also have keeled scales, opposed to most true cobras having smooth scales. And they are masters at shaming death or feigning death, whichever you like.
That's such a cool behavior.
They will even roll on their back and open up their mouth and stick their tongue out and and then musk and smell like and look like a dead something. So that's a really good trick they have.
Wow.
Yeah, some of them are quite comical. You don't just have to look at them wrong and they'll just
Like a hognose.
Yeah.
I think Wolf has a Transvaal garter too, if I'm not mistaken. I think he's one of the very few people in the States that has one of those. It came in on some import with underground.
That's a Lapsodia Sundavali.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. That's been a
pretty
while.
cool snake. So.
Yeah. No, you find these in the same habitat as you find house snakes and baboon spiders, of course.
Yeah, let's get into some baboons, man.
Yeah, talk about like some of the baboons you used to encounter in the like back home and stuff. Like seeing a wild baboon spider, dude. That's insane.
Yes. I started to encounter more when I started training to be a field guide, and when I moved actually into the Bushveld region. But there was one spot that I used to find baboon spiders in Johannesburg, near where I lived and where I went to school. And it was just one patch of felt where there happened to be some baboon spiders, and I could just, I spent many a long night trying to tickle them out of their burrows and try and catch them out like that. I think it was some species of heart bacteria that was at the time, but it was mostly a dark brown with the indistinct starburst pattern. But I mean, it was many years ago. That was my first encounter of them, and I believe it was a heart bacteria. But in fact, my first encounter or experience keeping spiders was keeping what we used to call rain spiders or lizard spiders. Have you ever heard that common name?
No.
Okay. I think it's what's it? I had it somewhere, because now I've forgotten it myself. I put it down there. I think it's a type of huntsman spider, to be honest.
Oh. So it's like a true spider. It's not like a
yes.
tarantula?
It was a true spider. Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Palistris superciliosus. Palistris. Paliestris. Okay, that was my attempt, but it looks like some kind of a hunting spider or a huntsman spider, but they have bands on their legs, much like a pokey. Okay, and it's a pretty large spider. I mean, when they stretch out, it's almost like hand size. And in fact, my grandfather had a big hedge on his property near the swimming pool, and when he would trim this hedge, he'd said these massive spiders would jump out at him. Okay, because they make these big egg sacs out of leaves that they spin on, and the female actually sits and guards them. So he would tell me stories of these big spiders. And of course, this was something I had to have. So I told Pops, if you see one of these, catch it, put it in a bottle for me. So he did. And I eventually got a nice big female of one of these that I kept in a little terrarium. And that was my first keeping experience of them. We call them reën spinnekop or rain spiders or lizard spiders. And they will, in fact, eat little wall geckos and such.
They're huge. I'm like looking at them, Justin.
Yeah, I'm pulling them up on Google right now.
Yeah, he's pulling them up right now. Pull them up on WSC, dude. They're.
And I always, of course, wanted to have a tarantula or a baboon spider, but that was the first big spider that I could keep. I used to obviously catch as a kid. I used to catch widows or button spiders, the Latrodectus geometricus and lineatus at the time. Also sac spiders. Those are also one of the medically significant species. We used to have those around. Big golden orbs, but that was the best thing I could catch where I grew up in my immediate vicinity, or get it from a
Those
ready
are
source of my grandfather's hedge.
those are so cool looking, man, and they're like wide.
What's the
They get like
genus name, Bill?
Have you seen when underneath the legs with the yellow bands? It almost reminds me. It's very Poecilotheria like.
check the private chat. It's
Yeah.
Polistus.
Oh, I see it. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Well,
that
these
was
are
the
cool
first.
as hell.
Okay, yeah, I enjoyed them. Yeah,
Oh my gosh. I bet you
they'll
they
take
grow.
down
Oh yeah,
pretty
right
large
here.
prey,
Yeah.
and we call them rain spiders because in South Africa, when it rains, they'll often come into your house. Which I don't know if that's like they're trying to get after the rain or just they're active at that time. If you have them, they move around. But
Oh wow, yeah.
yeah, as a kid, so I had one of these big spiders from my grandfather, which I brought home. And my mother's an arachnophobe; like she is really scared of spiders. So she didn't want to know anything about this spider. And of course, it was a gravid female, and she laid a sack of her own, which I attached it to the tree that I had in my bedroom, which I had a free range chameleon used to live in the room when I was growing up there. And I put
Whoa.
the spider sack on the tree, and I didn't know what it would do, if it would do anything, and of course it did. All the spiderlings emerged and were like a big string hanging out there. And my mother came and saw this, and I pointed at, look at the baby spiders, Mama. I just touched the mass of them, and they just went like a waterfall.
Oh my
And my mother will
gosh.
never forget this story. To this day, she recounts when the waterfall of spiderlings went all over and into the house and just dispersed. So I caught what we could. She probably vacuumed up most of them, but that was the early days of spiders. And then there was a pet shop at the time in Eastgate in Johannesburg. That this pet shop, I used to go there all the time to stare at these exotic animals because they had a pair of boa constrictors, a pair of American corn snakes, and these things
Whoa.
were amazing then. We didn't know. If you grew up with house snakes and African pythons, puff adders, and stuff like this, to see a corn snake or a boa, that was amazing. So we used to go stare at those snakes through the glass, and they also had, I was trying to think of it today, what was it? It was either a rose hair or a curly hair. But it used to just stand out there and be a big, beautiful brown tarantula that looked amazing, just parked there and didn't, almost was just in a different position when you saw it every time. And I loved this thing, and we always try to buy it, and they wouldn't budge on it. And that was the only tarantula I ever saw until many, many, many years later. I had to catch my own baboon spiders long before I got an actual tarantula from the Americas. And so when I did, I started my college training to be a game ranger, and I used to go out to many reserves and stuff, and wild preserve areas, and I would often find baboon spiders there. And some of the most common would be the Keratogaris, darlingi, and also Organocephalus.
Oh wow.
Yes,
Nice.
probably mostly it was Genodi that I encountered. I think I did encounter Brayara in Swaziland, but mostly it was Genodi. And but Darlini was by far the most common that I used to find in the Bushveld region. And that's one of, so being the Keratogaris, they are some of the most distinct spiders that we have in South Africa. You're not going to mistake it for anything else.
In the world.
No way. Yeah.
Yes.
It's tough to miss them in general, dude. Yeah.
Sure. Obviously, the most impressive member of the genus being the Antonifer, is that correct? From Angola, which has just got that massive protuberance.
Like a unicorn.
Yeah, no, it's like
Weird.
More like an elephant tusk on its head than a unicorn.
Yeah. Literally. It's like a hole, like it's like all the way back or whatever. It's crazy.
And yeah, that was during the expedition to the Okavango Delta that they found that specimen. I knew some of the members on that expedition who were looking for reptiles. But that's an amazing find. I worked in Angola for 10 years. So I didn't unfortunately come across anything as amazing as that. But it makes me want to go back just to find those.
I know
Yeah.
where even would they be? Like probably in some hole somewhere, under a rock.
I'm sure. I mean, I wonder also, like, that's quite
Probably
quite a
fossil
horn to
whales.
get up and down the hole. So, but I'm sure they do
Yeah.
probably burrow, most likely. But yeah, I'd be fascinated to find out. Darlini, of course, is quite. Mostly, you do find them in burrows, and they can be quite abundant in one area where you might find a big hole of a female, and there's a lot of small ones all around there, or just one area where you find one there, another one there,
Right.
in quite high density, much more compared to any of the Harpacterias, which, as a misnomer, Harpacteria, they're called the common baboon, and they're probably some of the least common. I mean, there's a lot of them, and South Africa's got a lot of diversity and abundance of Harpacteria. But they're not found in as high concentrations as some of the ones from the low-felt, bushveld regions. Like,
Do you have an idea as to why that is? Is it environmental? Do you think it has to do with how they reproduce? Just speculation.
no, no.
I wonder if it's a competition thing. Like,
Yeah, that
if
that
you
was
have a
my
lot of
my
Darlene
immediate
or
thought.
Ceratogyrus in one area, you're less likely to see,
Or like,
Harpacteria stuff.
is there
You
some
know,
other organism that's out competing them potential? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it would seem similar habitats. Like I've found Harpacteria in Natal and around in the Transvaal. They're more abundant in the Cape Province. But every time I found them, it's been a single female, most likely.
Wow. Okay.
It's and then you don't find another one for a while,
Wow.
opposed to Keratogyrus or even Organocephalus, which are found in a bit higher concentrations.
huh.
You
I
ever
can't say
find male?
why. I would like to know that.
Yeah, I know. Me
You know,
too. Like that's so
and
cool.
And I mean, when I was growing up, I mean, there's very little resources that you can get on baboon spiders. I mean, there were very few field guides, and they'd list like 4 of them. We thought we knew all 4 that we have. We thought we had like Keratogyrus darlini. Back then, even Organocephalus was still in Pteronoculus.
Oh
It was
wow. Oh
Pteronoculus genodi. It's only in the early 2000s. When was it? That Richard Gallen did the revision on the paper and brought them out, separated them, and now they're Organocephalus. But yeah, no, they were always Pteronoculus then. And what was it? And then we thought we had 1 or 2 Harpacterias. and it wasn't until the guys from the Baboon Spider Atlas actually thought they were going to go and map the distribution of the known species that they found out that actually there's a hell of a lot more species than any of us knew.
Yeah.
And South Africa's already got such a high rate of endemicity, like endemic species. With some of the unique habitats that we have. I mean, in the Cape, you've got some really like fynbos, which are not found anywhere. You've got the Karoo deserts. I mean, there's bushveld areas, there's coastal areas, low veld, high veld. There's escarpments. And on every other side there, they're finding it different. One side of the escarpment is one kind of Harpacteria, and the other there's something else. And all along the coast too, like in between the vineyards and things. Just in the mountains, just off the beaten track, there's a different species.
Yeah. After flipping through that Theraphosidae book that I got in yesterday, like I knew there was a decent amount of Harpacteria species, but oh my god, dude, the pages just kept going and going and going. And I was like, oh my god.
I know, and they're probably still, when we look closer, you're going to find more.
Yeah.
And can you imagine, like in the years when I was keeping, even when I did keep tarantulas in South Africa, I had a collection of 160 adult female, exotic tarantulas at once, at the height of my collection back in South Africa. We didn't even know about Harpacteria pulchripes.
Wow.
The golden blue leg baboon spider. I mean, South Africa's one of South Africa's gems, one of the most amazing, beautiful tarantulas, baboon spiders in the world. We didn't know it existed. So, and I mean, even the Bluefoot Idiothela Mira, didn't know about that one either.
Yeah, Mira's one of my favorites.
Yeah,
they're amazing, and it's a trapdoor baboon spider, you know.
And it's so cool to watch, man, because I've got I got a female, man, and she's actually spends a lot of time out of her burrow, but like just seeing the way those things camouflage. You could have anybody come in the room and I could say, okay, find the trapdoor, and they wouldn't be able to do it.
They would, yeah.
So
sometimes I'm filming it and I think I know where it is. It was there, right? And she pops out somewhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's
an
amazing species.
The way they form it, it's almost more of like a rug than a door. Like it's not like
yes, it's just part of
rigid.
The
it's
flush too. It's flush. It's like it's nice. Yeah.
No, they're really good.
It's so cool.
And just for the house snake fans, they come from a very close habitat to where the KZN Reds come from.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, those Reds are killer.
Yeah, those are beautiful. I do like the Reds.
Oh, just think about it. They live with neighbors with Mira.
Wow.
Yeah.
When you were seeing any of the species that you came across, frequently, was there certain times were you seeing them during the day? Were you seeing them mostly at night? As far as visibility from the outside of the burrow, was there any trends you noticed in terms of like coming across them? Like, was there particular things you could be looking for or nearby that just happened to be Ceratogyris hanging out, like bases of trees, things like that?
Well, you could get familiar with certain females in their burrows, and they'd be there for many years. And we were always actually told that if you destroyed a female's burrow, she was unable to dig a new one. And I'm not sure how true that actually is, but people have gone to effort to make sure they get a new burrow if they do get disturbed. Okay. So you could reliably know where to go and look for a baboon spider if you knew one was there. And certain nights you would catch her, you'd often just see legs out the burrow entrance. Under certain conditions, she might be standing right outside. And in the case of Organocephalus, if you're really lucky, you might see them standing right on top of their little turrets, because they have that vertical burrow. And the little turret that they make out of grass that they weave with stones and things like that just sticks a little bit above the surface level. And they might be sitting out there, especially on a night that you might have a termite emergence. Like after heavy rains in the bushvelds in the summer months, you'll often get the termites will come out, just the right conditions, and just they're out everywhere. And those are good nights for all sort of things, reptiles alike, because everything it's the whole food chain, termites, everything eats them. I mean, that's one time when you might actually see a baboon spider right the way out, or standing a little distance from its burrow, just so excited by all the buzzing and the termites, and just scoffing them up, making a big termite ball, grabbing them all. But normally they're quite, as you know, as many as they can go. And when there's all you can eat, they just might be standing there with termites all around them and just
overstimulated
with the mouthful. So those are most of the time you'll just see the legs sticking out of a burrow if you know where they are, unless in the case, of course, with males. Right. When certain conditions that we'd go road cruising for snakes and other reptiles, we'd often come across baboon spider males on the move. Most species in Southern Africa, the males are active in autumn, fall. Okay. And you'd see the males on the move, even like certain nights when the wind's blowing a certain way. I used to get male baboons, Darlini's coming into my house.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they'll come and, you'll just be sitting watching TV and you'll see a big spider moving on the wall. And sometimes it's a solufuge, but you can see by the way more erratic the solufuges
Oh my
move.
God, you got solufuges?
Oh yeah, big solufuges. Those would be,
Oh
yeah.
man.
And those are more orange, So if it was just a shadow, it might be a baboon spider, but they're a little bit slower the way they go. But those are, yeah. So you'd see male baboon spiders on the move, the right time of year, right conditions.
Wow.
Yeah.
You ever see a pairing occur? Like you ever see a male pair in the wild?
No, not so lucky. Never camped out by a baboon spider burrow yet. That's something to do.
Was there any correlation? I don't know. From everything I've gathered, South Africa seems to be much more seasonal in sort of the traditional sense of what we have here, and less of a rain versus dry.
Well, I don't know. I wouldn't take that statement. My wife always used to say where she comes from, which is New England, has 4 seasons. And I'm like, what are you talking about? We also have 4 seasons. And I'm like, no, now I know what she meant. South Africa definitely has different seasons, but they're not as contrast as winter. In the winter, it might be cold in the night, but during the day, the sun still comes out. You might find yourself back in shorts and a t-shirt again.
Oh, wow.
Yes. And depending on what part of the country you're in, like from Johannesburg and the Lowveld region, mostly you get your summer rainfall. But in the Cape, it's opposite. They get most of the rain in the winter. So, yeah, it depends. You normally get it either dry season or wet. South Africa is a bit more temperate in different zones compared to like a lot of tropical West Africa. Right. So it does, by comparison, but not nearly compared to America.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Checks out.
It's all the Southern Hemisphere.
Do you have any experience with, I might butcher this, Sicaridae, like the six-eyed sand spider family?
Yeah, the six-eyed, we used to call them six-eyed desert crab spider. That's one of the, I think it's the 4 medically significant spiders that we have in South Africa. Mostly tell people if you learn these ones, then you don't really have to worry about the rest as much.
Mm-hmm.
And, those are more in the desert regions. So I had less to do with them. Saw some in Namibia before. But it's not normally a problematic, but not really responsible for many bites. By comparison, the spider that's medically significant that actually bites the most people is the sack spider. Now I forget what that genus is in South Africa.
Sack spider.
Sack spider.
Okay.
It's a little beige spider. It's got black mouth parts. It's got very similar effects to your like a brown recluse or something. We've got a violin spider in South Africa as well, a violin spider, which is more like your brown recluse. But the sack spider, you often see them like in the corner of your door frame. It makes just like a tiny little silken webbing there, and that's its little egg sac, or could be in the fold of a curtain that you might not notice. So they do come into your house, and the bites they're cytotoxic, so it's a cell-destroying venom that causes some sepsis and necrosis at the local spot, but it's not initially painful as with a snake cytotoxin, like a puff adder bite or something. You're going to feel that immediately. You don't feel the bite, so people often get this wound that starts to fester a little bit. Mm-hmm. So I think it's similar to a brown recluse. That's the sack spider. That's the one who, because they do come into homes and such, that's the one you have to be more concerned of, and the violin spider in South Africa.
The violin spider.
Violin, like a.
Oh yeah.
They've got a violin shape on their heads, on the carapace.
Yeah.
So it's the violin spider, the sack spider, and then we have 2 widows or 2 button spiders, the brown widow or the Geometricus, what's it?
Yeah, that's the geometrics.
Latrodectus geometricus,
Yep,
and then
yep.
Latrodectus lineatus, the black widow. And then the six-eyed desert crab is further away, where most people don't go if you go into the desert or something like that.
So those are more like westwardly, near Namib kind of.
Yeah, so
range.
It's northwest. Yeah.
Yeah, gotcha. So Russell had a question that he typed out earlier and it did not come through. But he said, Darlingi have drastically different appearance based on different countries. Some are olive and yellow, some are tan and gray/black, and horns are different also. Has that been your experience seeing them in the field?
Well, seeing them in the field, my experience is primarily in South Africa, and of course, Darlingi does occur in Zimbabwe, Botswana, and Mozambique as well, and quite widespread throughout even and Namibia as well. So that's a big range for them.
Yeah.
In South Africa, they're mostly in Limpopo province, so it's the northeastern part. And that's where I lived, and mostly there can be some variation, but they're mostly like beige to gray, with a distinct starburst pattern. Some more distinct than others, and yes, typically always the 45-degree angle in the horn. But yeah, besides beige to light gray, I haven't. That's the most variation that I've seen in Darlingi. But surely they would look different in Botswana and Namibia, depending on where they occur. And I would sure to have something to do with the soil types. It could be much like Pteronoculus marinus. The OBT, even though that's a misnomer, we always speak of it because that's such a big group that most of them aren't orange.
Yeah, right. There's so many other colors.
Yes.
Did you ever see any Trinacalus? Did you ever see one in the wild?
Unfortunately not. There has only been, I think, one or two records of them in very far north in Limpopo province, just coming into South Africa, which who knows, I don't think they've actually even been found there again. So, I mean, closer place you'd get them would be Mozambique and Botswana and Zimbabwe. They're just they just don't make it into South Africa. But it is still a special one to us because it's Southern Africa's only arboreal tarantula, baboon spider. But unfortunately, I haven't seen. I have when I worked in Angola, there was a friend who did send me a photograph of what I identified as it was one of the Pteronoculus marinus. It was a darker specimen from pretty much central Angola, close to the coast. Yeah. Wow. Just south of Luanda, the capital.
Was it like brown or like black?
It had more. It was gray and black.
Oh, okay. I see. I get what you're. Okay.
Yeah, and some mottling on the abdomen.
The Botswanas or the Kenyas are the really dark ones, right?
Kenyas are brown.
Well, I've got it's the Zimbabwe, and yes, the Zimbabwe locality, I believe, is the Botswana. Botswana, I think, is one of the darkest as well.
Yeah, they're super dark.
Yes, but they've got those lovely white bands between the joints, which makes them look really good.
Yeah, they're super cool looking.
Russell also asked
variation in the localities on the marinus.
Yeah, do you believe they are different species or simply just locale variations?
Well, over such a big range, I'm sure they've got to be different species.
I was gonna say,
it's the same.
Very similar vibes to the green tree python thing, where there's just cryptic diversity going on.
I mean,
I agree.
Even with house snakes, like they used to all be under this big group in Feliginosis. And when you look closer to them, now they're separating them all. They're not all Feliginosis. We have Capensis and Freyde and
I gotta ask what your take is on the taxonomy with house snakes, because it is kind of a absolute train wreck. What's your take on it?
Well, I think there'll be more that's currently lumped in Feliginosis that will probably be separated, and there's probably more cryptic species than what we know. We mostly focus in Boedon capensis, and fortunately, that's the species from South Africa that I grew up with. That's my my first pet snake, and still one of my favorite snakes that we work with now. And luckily for me, it's where all the mutations are in as well. So I don't. I like to keep things. I mean, I even try and breed morphs into true localities. The morph that originated from that locality. So I like to preserve that if possible. So I don't really like to hybridize, and it is hybridizing, unless there's a good benefit to do so. Like we have done it with, for example, Boedon capensis. We've taken albino from the Cape house snake and bred it into the green Zambian to make essentially an albino green, which we call the butter, which is a spectacular, beautiful yellow snake to behold, but it is a hybrid. And there can be some differences with Feliginosis compared to capensis, such as humidity requirements. A lot of the Feliginosis, which occur in more central West Africa, may need high humidity during shedding. If any time one of them is going to get a stuck shed, it's likely to be one of them. And sometimes with Boedon feliginosus, the black ones, we've had them wanting to start eating live prey again, even if they're captive bred. They might just want to start eating live. When capensis, usually they're happy to be stuck on frozen thawed. So there can be some of these differences with the different species. And when you hybridize something, it can be a mixed bag.
Yeah, the whole thing just seems like it was a lot of that splitting. Some of it seemed a little unnecessary, because it also seems like we have Feliginosis that's like still kind of a big question mark for a lot of people. So maybe if they were needing to split, I would think that maybe Feliginosis would be where they probably should have started.
Well, I believe like Boedon Freyde, for example, was lumped in Feliginosis, and that's been split.
That's true.
Now.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
I don't know.
Look at the ones from Uganda; they might be something different still. This is a visually green locality of Boedon that comes from Zambia. They normally patternless, for example. Yeah, everyone likes the green one, so that's the main focus. I mean, also some people like the blacks. I mean, the black Feliginosis, they're impressive in themselves. If you want a pitch black snake, people who like the Mexican black kings and stuff like that, you can get a black Feliginosis. And they also fire up at night. You might think it's a different snake. It go from a black snake to a gray. It looks almost white. It's crazy.
Oh, wow.
But as far as the mutations and making combos, the majority of the mutations that we work with anyway are found in Boedon capensis. So they originate in the species that occurs in South Africa. So when you mix and match and make designer ones like sun glows and things like that, hypo marbles, these are all still Boedon capensis. They might just be different localities, come from different localities. Yeah. And I mean, some people don't like to even cross the localities. Or, you use localities to add extra, color contrast and color saturation. For example, like the KZN red stuff, breeding that into any line of albino just makes the albino so much brighter. So, we keep breeding them back into the pure locality, and we went from 50% visual albino with 50% of the KZN red blood and 62%, and now we're even up to 70%. And if you look at the degrees, how much more orange and how much more vibrant those albinos is, it's a major contrast going up in levels.
Mm-hmm.
So there's something for everyone. I mean, in house snakes, you like
they're awesome.
pure locality. You want to make a little habitat and set them up like the one that looks like where it comes from in the wild, just like that. Or you want to have a bright yellow one or a pink one or a blue one.
I just got my first ones within the last year and a half or so, and I'm kicking myself for not getting them sooner because they are so much fun.
Yeah, I know they're great.
Awesome.
They're very interesting little snakes. I mean, I've always loved the look of them. They've just got such like a python-like.
It's like a colubrid python, dude.
I say they're Antaresia with none of the bullshit.
Most of the field guides and that they're still classified as colubrids, and I mean they were up until recently, but the experts say they're some of the furthest things away from colubrids. But for all intents and purposes, they behave like a colubrid. I would say the main difference compared to what colubrids you might be used to in North America is house snakes don't need to hibernate or brumate in order to go into reproduction cycle. So that can be a bonus for some people. Some people get sad when you have to put your snakes to sleep. But it's warm in South Africa mostly, so house snakes are happy to keep warm and eat all year round, and they still breed happily for you.
How often were you coming across those when you were out, looking for them or not looking for them? Were they pretty abundant?
Oh, when you're looking for one, you can never find one, unfortunately. But
I know how that goes. Yeah.
Yeah, and snakes are quite sparse and not easy to find in all habitats in South Africa. You'd be surprised. You can't. I hear people do really well, and you can go to a place and find a whole bunch of water snakes around the place, and it's not like that in South Africa. You might find, one or two auroras around this little flay area, or flipping everything there. House snakes, they do make up a percentage. If I went road cruising, I might find, one or two house snakes, one or three puff adders, maybe an African rock python, an aurora, or depending which habitat you are, I was going to say a red lip herald. What else would be out? Maybe a night adder, and that would be a night road cruising, for an hour or so.
Wow.
So yeah, they make up two house snakes to three puff adders.
Yeah,
that's a decent ratio, right?
Puff adders are just the squirrels of South Africa, right?
Yeah,
yeah, that's a good ratio.
Yeah, and there are certain places you could have an idea where you might find a house snake if there's like a wood pile that's been left somewhere for a long time. You can go and turn that whole wood pile and you might find a house snake in there. You might find a water snake in there too. There might be a scarpsteker with the house snake. But yeah, they're around.
What color were the house snakes that you would find? Were they just brown ones or?
Well, where I grew up in Johannesburg, they were mostly brown and they had, a creamy stripe, mostly just on the head.
Oh, on the side.
And mostly patternless body. They were more similar to what we work with today to the Bella Bella locality or Bella Bella patternless stuff. That's what I grew up catching them, and we used to call them brown house snakes back then. Mm-hmm. Okay, and then in Natal, the house snakes they do tend to have more blotching and striping. They're more patterned. So around Durban, one of the other capital cities, where a lot of the mutations occur, the house snakes there are very blotched and spotted. And then maybe in the Eastern Cape, they might be, more patternless and the stripes extend the length of the body, for instance. There's even a locality somewhere in Natal that we work with that's we call racerbacks. They've got eye stripes as well as dorsal stripes. Those are quite impressive.
Oh wow.
Wow, that's really cool.
And then, of course, you get the KZN Reds in the northern Zululand, where the soil and they match the color of the soil. Those are a favorite as well.
Yeah, those are gorgeous. Those KZN Reds,
dude. They're insane.
They're so.
Such a
It's
good-looking
such a
thing.
clean look. It is such a clean look.
Yeah, no. And of course, when you get a KZN Red Bushveld albino, now you're talking.
Yeah, that's a bright albino.
Yeah, that you need your sunglasses for those. Yeah,
I think
so house snakes are fun, and they as captives they're not very demanding. You can keep them in a nice display. I mean, often people in the invert hobby as well like setting up, nice, interesting looking enclosures. And a house snake's a small enough snake that's not going to sit on your plants and trash everything. And you can even keep them communal. We've got actually a display downstairs that we use for our Palm Street. It's a repti cribs enclosure, and we've got three adult house snakes living in with Madagascan hissing cockroaches and arthropods and springtails and even African millipedes. And on our last Palm Street show, one of the house snakes had just shed its skin, and along comes the millipede and was just munching on that shedding. So, it's even they make interesting captives in a communal setting like that. And, there's the crossover that we have in the invert world with our house snakes.
That's really cool.
No, we enjoy. I mean, it's reminding me of my youth when I used to keep house snakes together with other species of snakes, and set up naturalistic enclosures and see how they go. So we want to do more of that to show our customers and show people who are interested in house snakes and new enthusiasts that you can keep them in a draw system and in the traditional commercial way, and they do fine and 100% like that. That's how we breed them. But you can set them up in these elaborate displays as well, and they will sit out on a branch that you provide, and they'll display there. They'll show you their little hunting strategies and what they do. It makes it more fun for those who want to do that, of course.
I definitely enjoy watching Rob at Dritz's house.
Oh, Big Rob,
dude, Big Rob. He's hilarious. Smitty, he's like this long, dude.
Yeah, he's a little longer than that. I like that he's found his routine now,
Yeah, he knows the what's going on. He's like, just turn.
That's all it is, once they get in, most of our hatchlings, they start in a frozen thawed pink, but they still like, when they're babies, still like, consistency. So I said, put the pinky, just leave it there. Don't try and feed it to him. Just leave it there. We got a special feeding rock near Rob's little retreat. So Rob comes out and his DoorDash is right there waiting for him.
Yep.
And he just eats it, and in the morning it's gone. But once he gets over his shyness, he'll eventually take it out of your fingers. You can get Rob to do that.
All in due time, man. Rob just needs, he needs a little confidence.
That's it. There. All in time, eh?
Yeah. So in terms of back to spiders, are there any, I guess, behaviors that you've observed in the wild, or any interesting behaviors that you've observed in the wild, and how do they kind of compare to what you're seeing in captivity, with some of the stuff that you're keeping, if that makes sense?
As far as baboon spiders in captivity, they'll more readily just make a little hammock setup in their enclosure instead of making a burrow, which in nature most often you'll find them in burrows.
Okay.
So they will do it in captivity if you give them the right opportunity, but sometimes they'll just, no, I'm just gonna make a little hammock, and I'll sit right in the middle. I'll web up everything, and they'll do that, and you won't normally see that. Obviously, in nature, they'll always be hidden away, so predators can't get to them. What else is there? Yeah, I mean, it depends. Like it's funny sometimes. Like even with the Organocephalus I keep now, it's funny how some of them will, make a hole that's flat to the ground, and other will make a turret, and some will just web up in the corner.
Mm-hmm.
And I provide them with the same opportunities. So sometimes it comes down to an individual thing. When I think in nature, there's more of a selection factor, and those who don't have a hole that a predator can't get to them, because there's all sorts of birds. I mean, hornbills, like Zazu from a Lion King, they will eat the baboon spider like nobody's business, and they're all around there. Okay, and a number of other things, starlings. I mean, she's so many birds.
Yeah, they're working for a living in the wild for sure.
Yeah, you have to be somewhere where something can't get you, and that's the thing. I mean, in Natal, my wife will tell you, it looked like I was digging a latrine trench or something like that. But I tried to tickle out a baboon spider, that it had me going the whole night, and it was playing this game. It just wouldn't come out, and I got frustrated. I needed to see the spider, and I decided I'm just going to dig it out. It won't be too difficult, and I ended up digging down a meter, which is like 3.5 feet.
3 and change, yeah.
And then 3 meters that way and around the corner.
Wow.
To get that out. So obviously that's a situation that's not going to, and this was in hard, like red clay soil for this hard bacteria that I found in Natal. It was quite close to the Hlui Umfolozi Reserve. And there's elephant, and it's big 5 country out there. In Zululand, and this was a massive ton, and I thought this was not really necessary. It didn't need it. Could have 0.5 meter down, most predators wouldn't have got it, but this thing went 1 meter down, 3 meters ahead, and then turned the corner. Wow. So that's something that you'll never see in captivity, and you'd never know that they would do something like that. For example.
Wow. So if they have the room, they'll burrow. That's crazy. That's
and then out of species that I know that are most likely to live in some other situation, Keratogarus is one of them. Like they will make retreats among rocks as well, even underneath rocks and stones, more readily than some of the others. Of course, there's some exceptions, like there's some specialists like Pteronoculus lapalala, which is our South African special Pteronoculus, which actually lives underneath rocks, and it's specialized for that. But Keratogarus will also do that and make a burrow that goes half underneath the rock as well. They don't have to just go straight down. I've even found them in junk piles, in the right habitat where they occur. If there's a scrap yard or something, you go flipping, and amongst there'll be baboon spiders. They're not fussy.
Yeah, whatever works, right? Cover's cover.
Yeah.
Like how is it culturally? Like how do people culturally see spiders in South Africa? Are they terrified of them for the most part? Are people like chill with it because they're everywhere? Like how does that kind of work?
I feel like when we're surrounded by puff adders and mambas and stuff, spiders are kind of on the lower end of the list of things to worry about.
I mean, I think it's sadly for spiders. I think it's the same everywhere. I mean, spiders and snakes. Oh my, people don't like
the
things
unloved.
like that. Most places, whether they grow up around them or not. This is the sad thing. They don't like the idea of something that they don't understand.
Yeah.
And so majority of people, like my mother included, she sees a spider probably today, she'll still squash it. Maybe she feels a little bit guilty because of me, but I'm sure she'll still squash it if one comes in her path. And that's sadly the most people. I mean, like snake keeping in South Africa, it's an extremely small hobby compared to the US. I mean, like the amount of people that you have at some of these US expos is like that's all the people in South Africa who keep reptiles, full stop, in one of these big weekend shows. By
Wow.
comparison, we have a much smaller population who would keep reptiles, and a minority of a minority, as it were. And then spiders being less than that. So there is a spider hobby in South Africa. One of my good mates, Kevin, back home, still keeps tarantulas, and buys new species and stuff like that. And he's been working with them for years and enjoys them. But yeah, most people think that's weird. Yeah, no, it's the same. You have a whole bunch of them, then you must be a madman.
Yeah. Okay.
And we won't even talk about if you have a centipede, what that means.
Yeah. Oh man, those guys are the worst, dude. Oh my god, those guys are something else, dude.
Creepy.
The peed people.
But I've heard you've started kind of going down that rabbit hole a little bit.
Which rabbit hole might that be?
Centipedes.
Oh no, well, I'm just enabling Phil. He's the man who's jumping in that. Well, this is how it started, okay? Because this is a longer story, but through my son's interest, okay, how he got interested, or it's how I got actually back into tarantulas since being here. I have a 5-year-old son now, who for his 5th birthday, I decided I was going to get him a tarantula. And I got myself one at the same time. He got a Chaco Goldney over here, and I got a Balfouri, and that started a whole story. Which then he saw a giant centipede, a big and he nagged me, and we looked at the centipede multiple times, and he nagged me, and eventually I gave in. I said, "Okay, we'll bring this scary beast home." I said, "How bad can it be?" So we had a Conrad named it BFG, and we had this big Galapagos. Yeah, it's like that big. There's a big one, and so that was the first one we had, and he really enjoyed that. And then since that, well, unfortunately, BFG didn't live with us very long. I don't know how old he was. It was doing well up until a time. But he's still got BFG pickled in a bottle downstairs. He'll happily bring him out anytime someone wants to know. And then we started getting some of these Dahanias in, and we kept a few for a while. And then I was bringing some over to Dritz's place. We were doing spiders or what, and that's where we met, Phil. Mm-hmm. And then you showed enthusiasm and passion for these peds more than anyone I had met before. Which is awesome. Cool. Even the centipedes need love. So, and then that's also, I think, was the first night the first time I ever saw how to sex a centipede. That was when Johnny Venom came over, and we got a live demonstration from the centipede wrangler himself.
He showed me how to do it. He's good.
Well, it looks like you've learned well, because you did it quite nicely the other night.
Dude,
he texts me all the time, and he is way more excited about drowning centipedes.
I know, he's got a problem. We won't even say it. But I was like, "Are you sure about this? We're really going to drop this poor creature into ice water and freeze the bugger, and then we're going to squeeze him out, squeeze his insides outside?" Yeah, apparently, but it seems to be the way, eh?
So there's someone that we'll be having on in the future, and I was talking to him, and if you do not put the centipede out, they will fight you with their muscles, and
then they're going to be you've been pushing against and
it's he said they always die. You can't get that to
fixing it.
Yeah, good luck trying to fix a centipede prolapse, dude. It's not like a chondro or something where you put a little.
So, but sugar water won't do it, eh?
Yeah, I don't think you can put sugar water on a.
What about a nice healthy spoon of cat food?
Yeah. So that's another thing, dude. Is I was sending Warren videos of my So Smitty doesn't have an iPhone, which he's lucky because I'll
Good
I'll
man.
send Warren
He's the
videos.
smart one. He's the
Yeah.
smart one.
Yeah,
Android
Warren
all
just gets
That's a whole nother
videos of
subject.
my.
I don't want to have an iPhone.
Me neither. I love
This
their
thing is
computers.
the enemy.
Phone.
Believe me.
It's too easy. So I've been feeding a lot of my centipedes that I'm going to pair and ones that I've paired a specific kind of instinct raw cat food because that was recommended to me by two other people who know way more about centipedes than
Like
I do.
steroids for those females, getting them like
So
ready.
so I was talking to this dude Mike from the Discord, and if you look at the amount of protein that's in the cat food and then you estimate the amount of protein that's in like a large cricket, eating even just a little cat food is like eating like 20 crickets.
I'm sure
it's like an
It's
insane
eating vertebrate protein. That's why.
exactly.
But like we spoke of before, I would just
Yeah.
stress on the quality of the protein. I don't know, how good is it eating bollocks and trotters versus eating a
whole prey.
good chunk of liver or something like that.
And that's a discussion that Warren and I had, is like he was an advocate for whole prey, which I mean, I think that makes a ton of sense, especially with those New World giants. You will see them eating dead birds and shit in Venezuela.
I bet you they're eating carrion a lot.
Yeah. Like you know, roadkill, whatever. It's been out for however long on the side of the road. Sometimes
so you need to be farm raising some organic crested geckos to feed your centipedes.
Dude, they would eat them. I guarantee you.
Oh yeah, they won't touch sides. Just suck them up.
I was feeding that yellow leg girl, the one that yours here, the one that produced. She molted and she's a monster now, dude. It's like chewing on.
Give her a piece of finger,
bread.
she'll happily accept it just as a
I could give her
mouse.
a pink. Yeah, I was gonna say I almost gave her a pink. She was voracious.
Yeah. Like I said, I think the chicks sound better to my reasoning versus giving her pinkies, which are full of milk fat, which is
I was gonna say
maybe less useful to them. But maybe it's good for the fat. Who knows?
I honestly I don't know.
But it is fascinating to see them eat that. I wonder if it'll eat a hot dog or a piece
chicken
of
heart.
Well, what's crazy is the fact that I put it down in the deli cup. It's like you drop feed a snake, dude, like with my Nerodia or like king snakes or something. You know, you put whatever down on a plate so that it doesn't get substrate in its mouth.
You have Nerodia?
Yeah, I have a ton of different Nerodia.
You really?
Yeah, Justin.
Since when?
Dude, since I've known Chris Montrose. Since I've known Chris Montrose, dude.
You've never at any point in our relationship mentioned Nerodia.
Oh God, I have 3 or 4 different localities. Yeah, we can.
You learn something new about Dr. Phil every time, eh?
Neither here nor there. So you drop fed the.
So you put the cat food in the tub, and I put the lid on it. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go, wash my hands or whatever. Dude, you come back and the centipede's eating the thing. He came right over to it and he's munching.
Crazy.
I've never seen them act like that because they are ambush predators. All the Asian, so I only have a few species of New World centipede, and that's North American stuff. But still, all the Asian stuff is all like burrow, ambush, fossorial, like come and get you type predators, and they came right out and grabbed
makes you have more questions, doesn't it?
It must
exactly.
They must smell. It's like the one time that, like in 100 years, that a monkey falls out of a tree and cracks its skull on a rock, and then they can come and devour its brains when you crack open that cat
what
food.
Is this?
What is that?
Yeah, and they eat. So I don't know if I sent you, but I bought a bunch of books about centipedes because I'm sick. And they eat fruit, dude. In the wild, they eat fruit.
I've heard that. It's
documented. I've got pictures and like bananas. Scolopendra dahani will eat bananas.
If they'll eat banana, I bet they'll eat pawpaw as well. What do you call papaya? Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Anything. It's because it's moisture and sugar, and they can metabolize that.
Yes, the centipede on sugar. Just imagine.
I would say give one some pre-workout and see what happens, dude.
Yeah, sprinkle a little bit of coffee grounds on there.
I bet you they would eat
I was
Pangea
gonna say
too.
coffee.
I don't know how good that would be, but I bet you they would eat it.
Yes, see, I wouldn't want to know what it would be capable of after
On
that.
Pangea.
After
Yeah.
the fact.
Dude, you get that red label stuff that has the BSF larva in it,
Yeah.
like ground up, boy.
Well, it seemed like the creature that you can experiment with and see what they're like.
Yeah, because like Warren said, he's really enabling my centipede addiction because he's got like straight up, he has eyes on more animals than I'll ever have, right? Like he's seeing more animals than I do just because of what he does. So he'll see a centipede, he'll say,
Jeez.
"Hey, I got this. I'll sex it.
I thought I was
If I
finding these
need
things
it,
by chance.
we could we can use it. We can use it. If not, we don't have to." And
Yeah.
he found this like weird. He's like, "Dude, I got this weird looking black one. And it was labeled as a Dahani, and it's a." So I was talking to this guy, Love Exotics, on Instagram. He's produced a ton of different centipedes. He was one of the cat food proponent guys.
Okay.
Warren. He was really pushing the cat food because he was like, "This is how I got this, and this to lay." And I was like, "Dude, say less." And
Fancy feast.
yeah, well, instinct. And he was like, "No, that's a Scolopendra species, like Vietnam black tip or something."
Okay.
And it's
Wow.
like a locality of Hainanum. You know the tiger centipede, the Chinese centipede?
Yeah.
It's like a locality of that, but that basically the black Warren found this centipede that was labeled as a Dahani and is actually some randomly crazy fucking Vietnamese centipede that now I have in a box in the other room, and it
I
was
just saw
absolutely sucking down cat food the other day.
big black centipede. This looks cool. I probably think Phil is gonna like this one.
Yeah, and I literally shit my pants.
Yeah.
I
Nice.
had
Wow.
asked 4 different people what it was,
Happy
dude.
to
Like
help.
people that know way more than I do. So now, like, hopefully, it's a girl too, and it's mature. So I have just been hitting it with the gravy train, like red runners. Give
Yeah.
it some cat food. We'll give it some
You could,
dubia,
if
whatever
she
she wants.
spits out a brood, you could establish those guys. That would be fun.
Dude, you're gonna hear me. You're gonna hear me.
I'll probably hear you all the way
Screaming.
down here.
Yeah, you'll hear me in South Carolina, dude.
Just-
Because
Yeah.
I don't know. I've
I'm
never seen
noticing
one.
a trend that all the Vietnam has the coolest stuff.
Yeah,
They
it's
do have
Like
some good,
all
they
my
do have some good
favorite
things.
Stereopagapus and stuff are
Mhm.
Vietnamese. They got the Vietnam silvers, which Phil and I are like
the
collectively.
Vietnam silvers are
obsessing
some of my
over,
favorite spiders
You know,
out there, man.
Those are pretty.
They don't look real.
the rhino rats.
You like Ron
Viet-
Rat too.
Vietnam's just got it all, dude.
Yeah.
Kylobrachys too.
Yeah.
The subspinaps, or the I think the whitebeard is a Vietnamese locality of subspinaps too. That female I got from Dritz is she's like this, dude. She's like
Hmm.
she's a woman.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
And
you
she
know
ate a
that
whole
because you drowned it.
so
You need money, so.
when you say it like that, it's kind of messed up. Like I encouraged it
Okay.
into a state of tonic
I
immobility,
waterboarded it.
and then I
No,
assessed its
Push the lady
genitalia.
in the cold swimming pool.
Yes,
It's just on him. Just chucked her in
I
mercilessly.
pushed it. Yeah, dude, with a pair of tongs. I dropped her right
Yeah.
in. But she went right to sleep, and it was quick and painless.
Is it like immediate? Like they hit the ice water and they're just like, meow?
So
Or is
I
it
put
like
a
Look
lo-
like they
fail
are.
for a second?
it's
and
like
then
they go to bed. They go right out to bed,
That's wild.
and it's you pop
You
them. Then I
just
put
use
them.
cold water? Because I didn't notice ice in your bucket.
So my bucket
Maybe just
was
took it out.
yeah, I moved some of it so that I can get, because that video I sent you there, one of the Dahani I got had mycosis near the last
You
turn.
wanted to get photos of it there.
Yeah, so I wanted to like really make sure that was clear
no
for
obstruction,
a
yeah.
reference.
Yes, got you.
But in general, I am gonna put as much ice as I possibly can, and I'm putting enough water so that if the centipede stands up, it cannot get its head out of the water. So we want it to try to swim, and then it's like, oh, there's no oxygen. I'll just chill out and go to sleep. and then some big hairless monkey comes in and pops its genitals.
Yes. Someone with problems, yes.
Yeah. That's what it is, dude.
Yeah.
Smitty, that's literally what it is, dude. We're in Dritz's basement. It's like 3 or 4 guys and Becky huddled around a freaking table, and I'm just like popping centipede genitals.
Popping peas.
Yeah, that's what goes on up here in Massachusetts.
I know. Some dodgy stuff in the underground.
Yeah, yeah.
Did you ever keep any scorpions?
I sure did, yes.
A lot of Parabuthus and stuff?
Mostly Parabuthus transvolicus. That was my main Parabuthus. I had a bunch of them. Yeah, I had some nice big, they had like, big, thick tails.
Yeah.
I've had
They're
Parabuthus
beautiful.
venom flicked in my face. They can make a big drip, and they're pretty.
Yeah, I
apt at
never had
flicking
any
it.
of mine do that. I kept Transvolicus and never had them do that.
Okay, yeah, the wild ones will do it when you annoy them. They'll do it. Not very accurate commenting. They don't just squirt. It's just like more like a flick, but that thick milky venom, you don't want to get it in your eye.
Mm-hmm.
The Parabuthus transvolicus, just to keep those. I had Parabuthus capensis. I had Parabuthus velocis, which is the hairy thick tail. That's still one of my favorites. Then there were probably a couple others, but I can't remember them now. Then I had Opus tucanthus. I used to keep Opus tucanthus species, the burrowing scorpions, Opus tucanthus glabriforms and Opus tucanthus latimus. Those were the 2 main ones. Where I used to live in Joburg, there was a koppie, Beluli's koppie, for those who might know that area. You know what a koppie is?
No.
What we call it's not quite a mountain or it's bigger than a hill, but not quite a mountain. Usually very rocky going up. So you can climb to the top of a koppie. It might be a bit of a trek. But on those rocky koppies full of, aloes and, you can go and dig under the holes in the rocks and you find big granulated burrowing scorpions.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I used to collect those. I had granulated burrowing scorpions. And then also one of my favorites is Hedogenes.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, those are awesome.
Those
One
are
of the
cool
biggest
too.
in the world, I think, for length, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, the flat rock scorpion, they live in a crack like that or a fissure in a rock, it could be like this, tiny like this, and you pull out a big scorpion as big as your hand. Most of its tail wraps around, but even their pincers, everything fits really flat into that crack. Yeah. So big rock scorpions, I used to keep those, bred those even.
So that was a
What
process.
else? Europlectes. That's another little beauty.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lots of different species. I had Olivaceus, which is like a really bluish one. Blue body with yellow legs. Olivaceus. Yes, what was the other ones? Man, there was an orange one that had markings on the back. Those are the ones that are most common that sting people because they're so small. They get into your shoes. They're very arboreal and agile, so they can climb in your boots and that. So the Europlectes, they call them bark scorpions, but they're different to the bark scorpions in America.
Right.
Yeah, they're small little buthids like this, but man, their tails go mad. They sting repeatedly. You stand on one, you're going to get it. And then one of my favorites, which at the time there was no literature on them, and I knew this was something different. Well, it had to be something different because all the other burrowing scorpions that I used to collect were all burrowed underneath rocks in the ground. Now, I found burrowing scorpions living in the tree cracks, which is Opus tucanthus. I think it's the species Asper now. Opus tucanthus, the tree burrowing scorpions, and I love those guys. Those are arboreal, big burrowing scorpions with big pincers that find the little holes in trees. Acacia trees, combretum trees in the bushveld, in the same habitat that you'll find Parabuthus transvolicus, the thick-tail the Transvaal thick-tail scorpion, Organocephalus, the bushveld baboon spider, and Keratigaris, the horned baboon spider, in the same habitat with those tree-burrowing scorpions.
Wow,
And
I didn't even know arboreal scorpions existed.
oh yeah, they live like they seek out little cracks and knots in the trees, and you'll see it if you go at night in certain spots. With the black light, you can see all the little pincers sticking out, and they're harmless, but they're really cool species. I really enjoyed those, and yeah, that's just man. When I started collecting them, I might have been like 12 or something, and they
Wow.
weren't to be seen anywhere in books. But yeah, I thought this was something new for sure. I used to just call them tree burrowing scorpion because they looked just like a burrowing scorpion, but they were hanging out in a different. Or there's some differences, different color on the tail and stuff, but very interesting species. You find that they're in. You can get them in. You've heard of Kruger National Park?
Yeah.
The big park, game reserve. Yeah,
Mhm.
back there. They live in Big Five country. It's a very common, actually. When I was doing my game ranging practical, when you, in the boma, putting logs on the fire, that's a species.
wow.
Along with Europlectes, you're sitting around. You might take your shoes off and be sitting barefoot around a big, bushfire, and out of the fire comes those Europlectes and the Opisthocanthus, and you hope it's the Opisthocanthus, the tree burrowing, and not a Europlectes that you stand on or crawls up your leg.
These are crazy looking, Warren. I'm looking at them right now. They do have big pincers, dude, and the tail wraps right around like that.
Yeah, those are cool.
Those are super cool.
Yeah, I had a pair of flat rocks, years and years and years ago before they fell off the face of the earth and became insanely expensive. And I paired them. I never got any results from it. The male dropped a spermatophore and did the whole thing. And I don't know. It's that's a cool species though. They were really neat.
Did you keep them on rocks?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to take like flat slate, thin flat slate, and make different levels and that. I even maybe glued some of them together and made like a whole thing, and they would, they're really such a specialized species.
Mm-hmm.
They need those rock cracks.
Yeah, they're weird looking animals.
They're also very long lived, I believe. Like more than a decade. Like
oh wow,
maybe it's 20 years.
The gestation on them alone is like a year, something crazy. Yeah.
Wow, I did not know that.
Yeah, and it's small broods too. They're not popping out a ton of babies like Centroides do. It's longer wait and fewer babies. So
probably more robust babies though.
They definitely come out bigger. I mean, Centroides babies, depending on the species,
they're still a tiny little thing. I remember I had a whole bunch. I might have had at one stage 40 of them set up in all little tubs when I was a kid. I had so many of them. Yeah, one of my favorite species. We also used to use them a lot at the reptile park for education and that. So they almost never use that tail, and it's almost so fragile and compared to other scorpions' tails, even the burrowing scorpions. So they mostly rely on those pincers. So you can safely show someone that scorpion, and it's good to show the very stark difference between the highly venomous ones with the big fat tails and the skinny pincers versus the more harmless ones with the skinny tails and the big pincers or pedipalps.
Yeah, so I was actually, speaking about Parabuthus, I was sent a paper that's going to be released, I think, within the next 2 months or so, or published in the next 2 months or so, and it's on scorpion venoming by Parabuthus as a public health concern in Namibia.
Oh.
And it's
I wonder what changed. They should have been quite used to living around Parabuthus, and I didn't know it was a major problem. People do get stung from time to time if you live around scorpions, but most people who do certain things that other people don't do to avoid getting stung. Like you always knock out your boots. That most people know, but you make a habit of doing that and be serious about it. You don't leave your clothes on the floor or somewhere and you shake them out before you put them on. Like a bath towel falls on the ground, you're shaking that out. You're not going to because that's how people get stung mostly. Or collecting firewood, putting your hands underneath things that you can't see when you're lifting. there's a safe way to lift something off the ground too. If there's a snake there, usually you pull things away from you. You don't just stick your hand right underneath. But yeah, you live around these places, you come to learn this.
Yeah, it sounds like the main issue is just a lack of effective antivenom, distances to hospitals and rural areas, and then
that might be more to do with availability, because I know there's I think there was something that the lab that did the main production of antivenom in Johannesburg may have closed down.
Oh.
And for example, like I can't speak to scorpions, but like for boomslang antivenom, one of the most venomous snakes in Africa, although extremely rare that people do get bitten, there was like one horse that they had at the facility that's the boomslang horse. You know, that horse dies.
poor
There's
bastard.
no other horse who makes boomslang antivenom. Unless they got others up. But at the time, I know for a fact at one time there was only one horse that you can make antivenom from. So there must be a similar process in getting the, immune antiglobulins from horses with scorpion venom. And
Well, I mean, just the sheer amount of venom you have to produce even to
make antivenom. Someone, I know the lab, yeah. I know the guy who used to supply the lab. I'm not sure if the lab's closed, but he still milks the snakes. Mike Perry from African Venom and Reptiles. Yeah, yeah. I know Mike for years. He's always into the milking of snakes. But he used to send the freeze dried venom to the lab, who would then process it. But that lab used to house, like, they had hundreds of Parabuthus scorpions, in all glass jars, and presumably someone would milk them, but if that department closes now,
right,
then the poor rural people in Namibia are going to...
Yeah, they're SOL.
Won't be so well if there's no antivenom.
Yeah.
I think it was a semi-similar situation with the coral snakes we have here in the Southeast, where like bites were pretty much never happening, and then the sheer amount of animals you had to milk just to get enough to make it worthwhile. I mean, I'm sure a very large majority of it was more financial than anything else. Like Pfizer wasn't going to put more money into something that isn't really a problem, and people aren't getting bit by things. And just even with like Lactrodectus antivenom and stuff, it's like the amount of spiders you have to milk to make that happen is just
astronomical.
So much work for so little.
And with these pharmaceutical, it's also like they're making these things to sell a product, and if it's the biggest need is in third world countries where they don't have money for it, less incentive to make something.
Yeah.
Were there don't get bit.
Any centipedes? There's centipedes in South Africa, right?
Oh yeah. I couldn't say what species.
Stigmus. I don't know, dude. They're not Scolopendra, though.
I mean, I found ones not so huge like I've given you.
Yeah, totally different.
Our millipedes get pretty big, though.
Millipedes are cool.
Yeah.
Dude, your millipedes are cool as hell. I've got a couple for a friend that I'm holding on to right now, and boy, are they different than centipedes.
A little bit, a little slower.
Yes, well, they don't have to pounce on their decaying leaf matter, do they?
Yeah, and I don't have to drown them, and I can touch them.
The dying leaves don't object too much. But they will give a nibble if you put your finger there and they're hungry, surprisingly.
Oh, really?
You might get a fright. Yeah. They'll give a chew.
Wow, I don't know, because I've held them, dude. It feels so weird when they're walking.
Not a piece of lettuce.
Let him get hungry and miss some protein. I mean, they will gnaw on a dog pellet or something like that.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. Like I give those as treats, like a little dog pellet, give it right to him, and he takes it and like holds it in his thing. But if you hold your pinky there long enough, he'll start nibbling on it.
I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, you must see they made short work of the snake shedding, I mean, in the house snake enclosure.
Yeah.
And I do give them, I also give them cuttle bone, for the calcium.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they love their banana and their mango.
Oh, that's cool. So like any sort of fruit and basically like isopods but longer.
I mean, they do need to have that leaf litter primarily. That's their main source.
Mhm.
So you need to have it in a decaying stage. So,
Mhm.
flake soil, sort of like stuff that isopods will use is good for them.
Mhm.
That's one of the balances we're trying to work. I mean, we want to get a substrate to have in our house snake enclosures that's bioactive, so it also feeds the isopods, the springtails, and the millipedes, as well as good for
Mhm.
plants.
Mhm.
So might have to experiment with some mixtures.
Yeah, I've got I had a bunch of dairy cow isopods, so I've been using kind of a similar type mixes I kept for them, and they seem to be doing pretty well. But I'm gonna offer them some fruit and some calcium because I do want to see that now that you
Yeah,
mention it.
I believe that I wouldn't dare to keep the isopods, especially dairy cows, in with any tarantulas
No,
because
right. No,
when
absolutely
they
not.
molt, especially, that's like they will
They'll
wolf
eat the
that
protein.
spider up one time.
Hmm.
Especially dairy cows, but with the house snakes, they seem to do really well.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they don't bother the house snakes.
Gage
Oh,
sent
house
me
snakes are too big.
some Panda Kings.
Sorry?
Said Gage when he sent me that Bambus 2 weeks ago, he sent me some of those Cubaris Panda King
Oh,
pods too.
okay.
He's like, I got a bunch of them.
Cubaris.
I was like, I don't know what to do with them, but all right, I'll take them.
They're pretty
Nice.
cool looking.
They are. They're neat.
Yeah, no, I met Gage at Collibrid
Cool.
Fest. Yeah, you remember? Yeah, I
Yeah.
heard across the room amongst all the snake talk, someone's talking about breeding spiders. I'm like, how did my ears pick that up?
Wait a second.
Wait a second, there's someone else
your,
here?
your spider senses were tingling too.
Yeah,
You knew.
spiders, that's it. Yeah. It's been a lot of spiders has become bigger this year. Surprising, eh? They come back into my life somehow.
Dude,
Think,
it's too easy. It's too easy to amass a collection.
well, I mean, I think Dritz has also had something to do with that scenario. Being close to him is also dangerous.
Yeah, that's a problem.
It's
Yeah.
it's very dangerous.
Thank God I'm down here.
Just today I bought 2 more for yeah, you know how it is, man. He's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, hey man, I got this." Like, "Hey man." Like, it's like, "Oh, okay. Yeah. Ooh, a Vietnam
Yeah,
silver. Ooh, I'll just ooh."
I
Yeah.
know. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I've been trading some snakes for spiders this year. Not
What
house
else?
snakes because the house snakes are in demand, but I've been trading other kind of snakes.
Right. What else are you keeping spider wise besides baboons? And you said you had a Balfouri.
Oh
Just
yeah,
a
no, I've got a variety. Yeah, I've got baboons and Poecilotheria is my main focus.
Yeah.
No, I love the Poecilotheria. So yeah, we actually my son and I we successfully paired and Venom up there. He named her Venom. That's our Rufalata. Yeah.
beautiful.
So that was a successful pairing, and then we've waiting for Metallica behind me. Yeah, she looks very swell, like she could lay a sack anytime soon.
Nice.
There's also a Smithy that's been paired there.
Ooh.
That's hopefully she will do something. Yeah. So now I love the Poecilotheria. Besides that, I also like I'm a fan of arboreal stuff, so I do like the Heteroscotta maculata and the Stromatopelma calceatum. I mean, I have to. Those are African arboreals. They
Right.
also.
They're beautiful too.
I mean, maculata is basically like the African pokey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. So no, I love those. Those are a favorite. And I mean, one of the species that kind of got my interest back, wanting me to get back into spiders was Monocentropus balfouri.
Hmm.
Beautiful.
They are stunning. They are just like being a baboon spider right up my alley, and then the possibility of being communal. I love that whole aspect of them. And very dry, arid species. Yeah, no, stunning colors. So that's one I really like. Yeah, other things that I've besides the Simopius is another species. In fact, that was my first egg sac. Got an Emeraldus sitting up there on an egg sac.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's
Yeah.
nice, dude. Emeraldus, you don't see those a lot.
Yeah, no, I got 2 birthdays ago. I had her, got her, and just was very happy to breed her. Hopefully, she will see some babies emerge.
Dude, they're beautiful.
We
They're
were
beautiful.
just tubbing some babies at Underdock the other night, and they've got that beautiful emerald abdomen. We were talking about, is it because they got an emerald abdomen as babies? I also heard another story that they were first discovered in an emerald mine in Colombia.
That's cool too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Colombia is known for its emeralds. So both stories I like, yes, but I like the spiders too. In fact, last night we were doing this Erminia. Got a nice big Erminia. I got it at Tinley, and then I got
Nice.
a male from Dritz right over there with these fluffy legs.
Oh yeah, look at him.
They are so awesome.
Little Nike swooshes on the feet.
Yeah, that's it. So yeah, I do those ones. I also love the green bottle blues. Those are just stunning. Got a couple
Such
of
a robust species.
It's up my alley. I like the arid things. I'm not really into the high moisture dependent things. I like baboon spiders that handle it dry, like the green bottle blues and the webbing, of course, and being semi-arboreal. That's like what's not to like. I've also got a couple of odd favorites, like we got the kids have the Gramnostola pulchripes. Those were the kids' first pets. I love Brachypelma classy. Got a couple
My
of them
man.
around here.
Yeah,
my man.
Yeah. My daughter's little one over there. She even got this little tarantula cat enclosure from Cat herself, and there we had to put a pink spider in the pink enclosure.
Yeah, obviously.
Where else would it go?
Right.
Yeah. I've got a couple of things like that. Aphornopelma cocodes. I love those. What else? Odds and ends. Curly hairs are one of my favorite tarantulas. Like
Underrated.
yeah, they have to make the short list somehow, even though it's just the appearance. There's nothing like it, just like that big fluffy spider.
They're
Those
so
are amazing.
robust. Yeah.
Yes.
That's one of the species in the new Andrew Smith documentary that just dropped a couple days ago.
I've got to see that. Yeah, no. I've got 2 big females here and a mature male, so I'm hoping to pair those up pretty soon as well. What else? There was something. Oh yes, we do love. My daughter especially, Astrid. She's 3 and she loves pink and purple and pink toes. So we've got a variety of albicularias as well. I love arboreal stuff and fluffy tarantulas. Having pink toes is just a bonus for her. So we've got a couple of albicularias and Carabina versicolor.
Oh, dude, those are like staples. You really can't go wrong with that stuff.
They're just gorgeous, man. Like this one just molted, and I just can't stop staring at it. I take the torch and look a little bit this way, look that way.
And the way the light bounce, it's like
just a different sheen
reflective.
every way. Yeah.
I don't think versicolor have lost popularity at all.
No.
That's a species I don't think has ever like dipped in terms of like people were into them and then they kind of like moved on to something else.
At shows they fly.
Always
shows
always in
fly.
demand.
Every single versicolor. When I've been to a show with Dritz, every single versicolor was sold.
Yeah.
No. Well, it's obvious to see why. They do make me sweat sometimes. Like last night, I had one that was doing the trying to get it back in its tub.
Luckily
they're so agile.
They're so chill though. Like God forbid it gets on your hand. Like nothing's gonna happen. But they
It's
are
not a
pretty quick.
stromatopelma. No.
Yeah, it is
Yeah.
not a stromatopelma. It's not a centipede.
Yes, for sure.
Are you keeping any other Bacillotharia besides Rufilata Metallica?
Oh, yeah, no, pretty much. I think all of them now.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's all
Good
of them.
answer.
Phil
Yes.
isn't a true
Those are
appreciator.
just the ones that we bred so far. So, excuse me?
Said Phil isn't a true appreciator of the Bacillotharia.
Whoa. I do enjoy. I've got some ornata. I've got some striata. I gave Dritz 2 regalis males. At some point when they get laid, I'll probably get a couple slings.
You got a male striata?
I got a female.
I had,
Yeah.
I got a female. I have a huge female. She's literally pre-molt right now. She's big. She's a big woman.
Yeah, I know. I really just, their whole ritual is so awesome, and especially when you see the female tapping back to the male and coming out, and from a spider
So cool.
I mean, my spiders will be out. Like, I mean, I'm just a bit disturbance here, but if when the lights off, I come out and like most of them are all sitting out and you can see them. But Bacillotharia are secretive, and they won't hang around there for all the time. They'll zip away. If you disturb them too much. But to see them, to me, it's like a crocodile going into a state of torpor when they just have to lay their eggs, and you can do anything right next to them. Once they started laying, they focus on that task. And it's almost like that with the spiders, because they come out and expose themselves. You get to see this magic happen, which you'd never see them, and all this activity when they're pairing. And it's just fascinating. And I mean, watching the Rufilata do it and the Smithy is, it's fantastic.
I swear to God, I heard my striata tapping last night.
You probably did.
I don't know what it like. I hadn't heard that sound before, but I was doing.
Dude, it sounds like a weird. It's like
I was
it's
feeding
quick.
something, and I just heard it, and I was like, "What the fuck was that?" And so I stopped and I looked over because it was like off to my right. And so I was like, I don't know what it must have been. One of the rhino rats doing something stupid or whatever, right? And so then I go back to feeding something. I heard it again. I'm like, "What the fuck?" And I look over, and I mean, she was sitting out on like the side of the tub.
Dude, it could have been.
But I was like, "There's nothing else over there. There's like a Simani that stays buried, and then there's that white eye." I was like, I don't. Then I was like, wait, that rhino rat's hanging out in his water bowl, so it probably wasn't him. And so I'm like, what the fuck are you tapping for? There's not even. I don't know.
It's a unique sound.
Presence known. Yeah, and that's also something that obviously share in common with Dritz. There's the love of Hati Hati, because that was actually one of the first pairings we ever did together.
It's the first pairing I ever did with him.
Is it? Okay. Yeah, no, well, that's his species there. And I had wanted to breed that species because I had watched videos of Dave Fisher, the Dave species, breeding Hati Hatis, and the way these guys tap their fangs so hard on the glass, tick 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 tick.
The males like do like they like their whole body hits the enclosure.
It's like a push-up that he's just slamming himself into the ground. It's crazy.
Smashing his face. Oh, it's so cool.
So loud and so amazing to watch. So like I just had to,
Mine are growing like
witness the spider reproduction, and it didn't disappoint. It was amazing. I mean, he tapped that, it was tapping so hard. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's
from such a secretive spider and comes out and makes such commotion when he's ready to do his thing. It's impressive.
The sound is unmistakable. I can hear it right now in my head, dude. I know exactly what you're talking about.
She's going. I
know exactly what you're talking about, dude. It's like you're like, oh, this is so cool. And you're like, you get your paintbrush, you're like, all right, shit. Hopefully she doesn't kill his ass. Like
I'm straight, yeah.
Oh, no, that's God. It is magic. You're not wrong.
That's what I've been having fun with of late. So it's been a nice change to snake breeding. But snake breeding is still in full swing. Just having to do some spider breeding as well. Yeah.
Well, did we have anything else? We're at.
It's that time.
I think it is.
That's
Witching hour.
okay. Wow. That went by.
If
that was awesome.
it was. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought we'd get into a lot more, actually. There's a hell of a lot of other species we didn't cover. I mean, just in baboon spider wise.
Just an excuse for a round 2.
Yeah, we could always.
And then
Yeah.
I might have to convince you to.
I mean, I'm always down to talk about spiders and snakes,
I'll have to convince you to come on Snakes and Stogies and have a South Africa jam session with the other Phil, because he's a venomous guy in Florida, and he's all about sub-Saharan stuff and.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that's great. I mean, yeah. Unfortunately, having kids now, it's like it's given me an excuse to get back into some things I used to do before, and I was like only too happy when he said he was, when he showed interest in the spiders, and now, my son wants to stay up and like breed spiders in the evening. He was helping me pair the Herminia last night and did the Rufilata. He was very excited about that. So, yeah, I mean, He's got a collection of his own. He tells me I'm sitting in his facility right now.
Whoa.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you don't want to hear when he says, he says, I take all of his centipedes away. I said, no, sending them to Phil. He's to blame for it.
Dude, we're going to make him more.
Yeah, I know. I said they're going out to breed. He knows how it works. He was concerned when we first took the Metallica girl over to Dritz's place because we tried to pair her there and she wasn't going the first night. Had to do some more conditioning and I left her there. And then I came back and he's like, where's my big pokey?
What'd you do with her? Yeah.
Hey, don't worry. She's fine. She's coming home. And he asked me every time until she eventually did come back.
She's in the best place she could be.
That's it. Yeah. No. Well, he doesn't agree. He said he always wants to come with to breed spiders. Said we got enough to breed here, but we'll have to make it. Yeah, you even did send him some little praying mantises.
So those are gonna grow so quick, dude.
We've got a variety of them, yeah. A little green one, we've got a leaf one of those ghost ones that looks like the monster from Stranger Things.
So cool, yeah.
Yeah, so yeah. It's because of him. I mean, I used to catch all of these things growing up as a kid. They would come into my house now. So now they're exotic and rare. Yeah. Like the millipedes, we had to have them because I grew up with them and my wife loves them from finding them in South Africa. So now my son had to have some as pets.
That's so cool. You would just find them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they used to be on my farm all the time. You'd come out after rain, you'd find we call them shongololos, but there you'd see him cruising by.
What, dude, that's cool as hell.
No, it is.
Because
I mean, actually, Hodogenes eat them. They love to eat them. You'll find that's one way you can find them. You'll find a rock crack and a whole bunch. It looks like a bunch of coins or like Sega rings, but it's little rings of millipedes. And you must see how Hodogenes grabs that ring. He holds it and he spins it and uses a little chelicerae and he picks out all the meat out of each little ring and then drops the little shell. One little ring, and then how many rings makes up a millipede? And you'll see literally like a whole little avalanche of little rings in by a rock crack, and then it's a telltale sign you know who's living in there.
Wow, that's
freaking buffet.
That is really cool to think about.
Yeah, it is.
Leaving a bunch of peanut shells around,
Yeah,
it's like me at Five Guys, dude.
all the rappers.
Yeah, dude.
No, there's some little pointers like that. I mean, we're looking forward to going back next year, which is just around the corner now, because the kids want to go and see the Big Five and go and see all the wildlife that Mom and Dad have always spoken about. He wants to go and find wild baboon spiders. So
Wow.
We're going to be doing that. We'll be flipping rocks and finding Transvalicus and learning the difference between thick-tailed scorpions and harmless ones, and how to fish a baboon spider out of its burrow, stick it back afterwards.
Wow.
Yeah, all of
that is super cool.
So yeah, no, it's still, we're still very connected to South Africa. All my family's still there, so we do want to make it a regular thing going back there. It's just
it's a good reason to good excuse to go back on a regular basis, you know.
Of course.
I don't blame you.
Yeah. Ultimate.
All mine lives 15 minutes down the road.
What's sorry?
Said all my family lives 15 minutes across town. So
yeah, no, that's nice. Yeah. Don't take it for granted. I mean, sometimes it probably can be, you'd want a bit of more distance between you, but yeah, it's hard. There was a long time we lived very close to each other, and we didn't think we'd end up so far. But I've got mother in Cape Town, father in Johannesburg. I've got another sister moved to Germany, another one in Cape Town. Yeah.
Oh wow, okay.
So we all over the show now.
Well, if people want to get in touch, what's the best way to do that?
Everything's depends what you want to get in touch for. There's different hats that I wear. Primarily it's bushveld reptiles, and that's what we do African house snakes on. So bushveld reptiles, we specialize in captive bred African house snakes. We do have a website, so bushveldreptiles.com. We are on Facebook and Instagram. We have a morph market as well. And then if you want to see some of the other stuff that I work with reptiles-wise, that is WSK Reptiles, mostly on Instagram. And I work with a variety of other python species nowadays. Locality reticulated pythons, super dwarfs, Australian stuff like blackheads and womas, carpet pythons.
Hell yeah.
Angolan pythons, stuff like that. And then we are soon to be starting something that's going to be more invert based or focused. And that's going to be, my son's going to be the main face of that with his interest. And we're going to be calling that Arthropoda Safari. And we might have a retail outlet for some of the things that we're breeding. Baboon spiders should be a staple, and other stuff focused with Southern Africa. So watch that space.
I'll be keeping an eye out for that.
Wow. Dude, I didn't know you had that's good to know, dude. I didn't know you had WSK reptiles too, because I only just knew you from I knew you kept pythons and stuff, but I didn't know just because we talked.
I'm really bad with social media. There's so much stuff I've got a backlog to share. I mean, breeding all sorts of stuff, and we
you're deep. You're in it for sure.
Yeah, and I mean, ultimately, what we want to do to tie this all together is we want to do reptile and arthropod focused tours to go to South Africa, to go into the bushveld, to go and see these animals in their natural environment. I can take you to the spots where you can find these things and like have a photographic safari while also having a big 5 safari experience. And that will be a way for me to keep the connection with South Africa and an excuse to keep going to and from.
Yeah, and it sounds like a blast too, just to go hang out with animals, see what there is to see. There's always, you're always going to see something new.
Oh yeah, I mean that's one of the places in the world you have to travel to. I mean, once you go to South Africa, it's
aside from like airfare and stuff, and actually getting there, I mean, is the cost to visit and be over there fairly? I mean, how's that compared to the States?
Rightly so. Your airfare will be the most expensive part. It is. It's on the other side of the world, going to the southern hemisphere. But once you get there, your buying power is so much stronger because it's like, I don't know, 15, 20 to 1. So you can eat T-bone steaks every night if you like.
No.
Yeah. And we do.
Oh.
So no, you can have a real good time, and one of South Africa's biggest industries that still work pretty well is the tourism. I mean, people come to South Africa and have a real good time. Show you all the good stuff. We ignore all the problems and focus on all the, the great sunsets with the wildlife.
The great white sharks.
Oh, those are there too. I've actually heard that recently they're not so active in Gans Bay where they were historically, that because of orcas who have moved in and been hunting them.
Whoa.
So they've actually moved further up the coast.
Wow.
So yeah, they are there. But now the orcas are hunting the great whites. Isn't that wild?
I mean,
I'm at a point now where I'm convinced orcas are scarier than great whites. Like,
orcas are
white,
apex, dude.
That's like a clever giant killer dolphin, eh?
Yeah, they're real smart.
Killer giant toddler.
Yeah, you see how they use waves and that to wash a seal off of an ice.
They work together.
Yes, teamwork. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
and how they play with their food too.
Yeah, that's like next level intelligence.
Yeah. Well, they are wreaking havoc on the great whites, and apparently that their favorite part is great white liver.
Because it's so nutritious. Yep, it makes sense.
That's why you need to give those peas those chicken livers, man.
Yeah, man. I'll liver up my peas.
All right. Well,
guys,
this episode,
it's been fun.
Yeah.
Thank you so
definitely
much.
Appreciate you coming on, man. FullVistaApparel.com. 'Tis the season sale going on right now. Buy 2 get 1 free site wide. Check it out. Tarantula Addicts Discord. Do discord.gg/TA. Join. See why it's so much better than any Facebook group you'll ever be in. And we'll see everybody later.
You guys.